So this will be episode 49, Badass Records Podcast. Mike Bailey in the house. Before I forget, usually, because I will forget.
Can we change my name too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Is that not your name?
Yeah, that's my real name. I'll go by Mab or MABkc. Mab or MAB or MABkc.
Okay.
Not too many people know the government.
So, do you want me to cut that out?
Nah, I mean, it's cool. It's public.
Mab, MABkc.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just so used to people calling me Mab or
Okay.
MAB.
I mean, I feel bad. I got you saved in my phone as Industry Soundz.
Cool. Hey, I'll respond to that too.
There you go. Which, by the way, with you on the books, I've been telling the story lately. And it's a tough one to tell because it's pretty embarrassing. But about 9 years ago, I came out and I had written this rap for the men's 2014 U.S. Olympic team, and when they were in Sochi, and recorded the rhymes over 2 shorts in the ghetto at your place. And I practiced it a bunch here and thought, all right, that's enough. But it didn't occur to me that like you would be right there the whole time and that I would be able to make eye contact with you. And then it was like, first take, I screwed up in the first 10 seconds and it's like, oh, we're gonna have to do this all. And I think we did like 8 takes, and every time, and it was like I'm in the other room with the glass and the hanging mic and you're out there working the stuff, and after every one I was like, what do you think, man? And you're like, dude, I don't know, man. What do you think?
I still do that.
But it was like, it's just terrible because it's like a 5-minute song.
Yeah.
If you screw up the 30-second mark, you got to plow through this and then do it again. And then you gave me a disc, and SoundCloud was somehow involved. Like it was, I don't know if you uploaded it to SoundCloud or if I did, but either. And I put, at the time I was blogging, so I put it on my blog, and then however long, stuff wasn't as strict back then.
Yeah.
But eventually the algorithm was like, hey, that's somebody else's song. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So it disappeared. And so at the end of the day, like I just have it on a CD somewhere.
and that definitely shows you too how long ago it was, because I mean I still have CDs, but who still has CDs?
I have all mine. I have not. They're literally collecting dog hair and dust. But anyway, so I want to say,
I'm just saying we old.
We are old. We are old.
I got like 3 of those big 300, 400 disc binders of CDs.
Case Logics?
Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I got, in the other room, I got 1,000 cassettes, all in 100 wooden, it's heavy.
I bet.
But before we were rolling, you're asking me about the podcast thing.
Yes, sir.
And I want to say like 5 years ago was when your mom's house, Tom Segura and Christina Pashitsky, a husband and wife, they're stand-up comics. They do a podcast called Your Mom's House.
Okay.
And
I thought you was talking about my mom.
No.
You ain't never been there. I'm like, hold on, where's this going?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
So they started their thing, and it kind of just, the show developed kind of into a network. So they've got like, I don't know, 7 or 8 under their umbrella, and there's a couple or 3 that I enjoy, and so I was watching their stuff when it would drop, and then for a while I was like kind of dialed in with Rogan. When he moved to Spotify, it's just a different thing I got to look on to see, because I don't get notified, and his shit is 3 hours an episode, so I got to be interested in the guest to say that I'm going to. Anyway, so I'm consuming podcasts, and I'm watching a lot of reaction videos. Mm-hmm. You familiar? People watching comedy or a movie or listening to a song and breaking it down. And I mean, just hours and hours a week as a consumer.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I could do this. And so I was, this room existed, but I was, the beginning stages of a divorce and trying to figure out division of assets and moving stuff. So anyway, I had a little bit of cash came my way, so I had somebody redo the room, and then I made. I'm not a handy guy, but I made this table out of a door that was behind my furnace.
Nice.
And ordered all the stuff, and then it was like, now what? And it was all just like Googling and taking notes, and then watching videos, and then all of a sudden I'm in a rabbit hole, and like I can't. Anyway, so here I am.
Nice, and congratulations to you. We spoke on your near the 100th.
Yeah.
Episode.
Well, 52.
Oh.
52 would be one a week.
Oh,
so
I mean a year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
no,
52.
It's all
You're gonna get to 100 too, but
at first it's like, okay, here's all the people that I know, and then here's how many say yes, and then from there it's like people who know people I know.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that number keeps growing and doesn't shrink down to nothing, because getting people in the chair, that's the first part to having an episode. So, so how long the Industry Soundz 1 is Blue Springs?
Yeah. Same company.
How long's it been open?
9 years.
Oh, you're representing right there. There you go. Okay, so you were like brand new when I came to you.
Exactly. That was a long time ago.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah.
Because it looked legit and
Thank you.
felt legit. And
Yes.
you were super cool. And then you just opened
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, and
About a year now.
why a second location and why Des Moines?
So my father is from Des Moines, Iowa. My grandfather still stays out there. I have a bunch of cousins as well. And one of my cousins, his name is Ron. He he's basically been a manager of artists, and for years, him and his guys, or he meets someone out. They don't have a lot of studios. They do have studios there, and even more popping up now, which is amazing. That shows the growth. But him and his people, were coming down to the studio like, man, we don't have nothing like what y'all got in KC, like Kansas City. There's studios everywhere. Probably when I was Googling when I first started, get it started with Industry Soundz, there was probably like 10-ish in the area, 8 to 10 studios. I mean, that would pop up on Google.
Okay.
Now there's probably like 20 or more,
Like all within not too far?
Yeah. And, I would say there were probably more people that had studios, but they would be like in someone's basement type deal.
Sure.
Like actually building in studios and had their business registered. There was probably like 10, maybe 12 tops when I first got started.
Okay.
Now there's of course more. I haven't checked in a while. But
Sure.
I'm sure there's probably 20-ish that I could probably think of,
And do you think that, is your schedule pretty full? I mean, you primarily want folks to come in and record their stuff, right? Use your gear, and you're kind of the engineer. Is that accurate, or?
Yeah. I mean, I've been able to successfully maintain a career off of music. Now I do other things, but it's been helping take care of my family and pay bills.
Nice.
I'm blessed. Like I promise you, every day that I get up, I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? Good and bad days. Just to be able to do what I'm still doing. I haven't had to close my doors or, take significant losses. I have taken losses, of course, but to be able to, like I said, provide for my family and still be in the industry of what I want to do and what I've always thought to be doing is amazing.
Yeah. So to open the first one, did you have to borrow funds, or?
Actually, I had a business partner at first.
Okay.
So it was a little bit easier. And you may or may not heard of his name. He's a rapper, Mr. Stinky.
Yeah, I do know that name, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Okay.
So I met Mr. Stinky. I gotta say his full name. I call him Stinky, but Mr. Stinky. I met Mr. Stinky a couple of times, like growing up. I catch him at a gas station. I knew who he was. I have an older brother. He was into hip hop and into the city's music. So I would hear everybody's albums and CDs that would come out from Kansas City.
Okay.
So I've already heard of this guy before. I never knew who he was, but I met him 2 or 3 times at a gas station, and it just, or like, hey, I know you, you Mr. Stinky, or in his personality, he would come up to you, even you. He'd come up to anybody. He's always trying to tell people who he is,
cool.
And sell his
Smart.
music, and
yeah,
of course. So fast forward, I think I was probably like 20-ish years old. I ran into him again, and this time I'm making beats and doing music, and that's like, I already know, like, this is what I want to do. I already didn't, have a couple of albums and self-production things I've done. So I see him again. I'm like, yo, I met you before. My name's Mab. I make beats. You know what I'm saying? Let's work. I'm trying to work with artists in the city.
Right.
And we exchanged numbers or something, hit each other up. I think I was supposed to go out to a studio session. I never made it, type deal. I'm young at this time, so I got a lot of stuff going on. Then, like I said, fast forward to 20, I meet him again. I'm working at Guitar Center this time.
Okay.
I worked there for a stint. And I think one of his friends comes in to buy something, and he meets me, and we just talk, and, he's like, man, I like you, what I'm saying? You very knowledgeable on this and that. I'm like, this is what I do, what I'm saying?
Right.
At work, I was always trying to sell myself outside of that, because like most of the people that come in, they making music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to Guitar Center. I made a lot of connections and stuff there. But the next day, I guess I wasn't there when he came in, but he came in and bought like a whole studio worth of stuff. He's like, I'm tired of going to the studio. I'm about to record at my house. So he buys it from another associate, perfectly cool and all that. Then he comes back and he's like, man, I was missing this and this and this. I need to get this. They say I ain't got everything I need. So I sell him everything. And he's like, he's a rapper. He's like,
okay,
I don't know how to hook this stuff up. I was like, I used to do it. I was like, I can come out to your house, but and he was willing to pay me.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
I used to charge people like, you want me to, for my time, whoop, whoop, whoop. So I went out to his house. He was really cool. Hooked all his stuff up super quick. Got him started and recording. He was like, man, he's like, you cool. Like, he's like, I kind of remember meeting you a couple times in the past. He's like, you always been cool.
Gas station, dude.
Yeah. He's like, I feel like I can trust you. You don't seem like, you into anything. Never have been. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Just music. But he was like, let me start paying you to come over here and you can just record me. I was already doing it at the house, so I'm like, bet I can do that. Just like $25 an hour. So
dang, that's
yeah.
I mean, nowadays it'd be like 50, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a while ago.
But that's what I was charging out the house, like $20-25 an hour.
Sure.
And then some days, and he was really cool. Like he'd cash me out, like, well, here go $100 for a couple hours or something. Here go $200, like, you know what I'm saying? And on top of already working, you know, I'm like, hey, this is cool. I mean, he's taking care of me. Like, I got food for the day. Woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? We going to cool places and shit. I'm like, bet. You know what I'm saying? We built a relationship off that. So he stayed in this kind of like small duplex apartment deal. He had neighbors on both sides.
Okay.
So we tried to record in this one room.
Oh.
You already know where I'm going. The neighbors, man.
Not fans. Oh, man.
Y'all being too loud. I'm like, damn, we just like recording vocals. I mean, sometimes we'll slap it, but
sure.
We'll try to move to a different room.
Same thing. Damn.
So one day, I got to rewind the story back a little bit. One day I'm driving around Blue Springs. I think I went to go pick up some like, I went to a liquor store. I went to go pick up either a little bottle of liquor or some raw papers or something. I don't know. And I had remembered a good friend of mine. It's like one of my brothers, Church Boy. Amazing musician, crazy drummer and singer. Like, Church Boy is, man, he needs to be more known. I'm gonna do one of those too. Church Boy needs to be more known. If you guys, and I'm sorry, I apologize. His name is not Church Boy anymore. He's just going by Kevin Church Johnson. If you guys know who Church is, right. Kevin Church Johnson. If not, go look him up. Go to my page and find him. He's amazing.
What's your page?
Industry Soundz. Any of the Industry Soundz. Yeah, you will find Kevin Church.
Okay.
On social media.
Sure.
Kevin Church Johnson. He's an amazing musician.
And Mr. Stinky's music is somebody can find it.
Yeah.
Just Google him or
just Google Mr. Stinky. He's
and is your stuff visible too?
Yep. So, you can also find me MABkc.
MABkc,
and that's my artist side.
Your music can be found and streamed or or whatever. Okay,
man. And I gotta highlight that. I'm gonna get back to the story real quick too. I just looked on my DistroKid and we were over 1 million plus streams for my music. Yeah, man. Yeah. And I didn't even know it. Like, I actually had taken down like 4 of my projects.
How come?
I want to read like so how I grew up on music is people would make albums, of course, probably you too, right?
Yeah.
Now it's more of like a singles game.
Dropping tracks.
Dropping tracks. So I got bodies of material, but maybe not all of the songs, and I'm just doing them and putting them out, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's a younger me as well. Now I'm much older and I can see things. But some of those projects, I like a lot of them myself, but some of those projects maybe were more or less, this should have been a single, or this got overlooked, you know. And even some of my homies, friends, fans would be like, yo, can you put this song back out, please? I'm missing this song.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So that's
gotta feel good.
Yeah, this year I'm putting those songs out like, as singles. I'm gonna just play that game. But yeah.
So 1 million streams? Like,
I still got some stuff out. Yeah.
Visible,
1 million plus streams.
1 million plus. But I mean,
over all of my music that I've just dropped through DistroKid. I actually got music out through other platforms too.
But I mean, has there been revenue?
Oh yeah, correct.
Okay, cool.
Oh, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not to. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the streaming game, but definitely not what I invested.
I mean,
we need to change the game. Whoever's watching, please change the game.
So when you had like word of mouth that there wasn't a facility like yours in Des Moines, and so here's the idea hatches, and then did you have to have a Mr. Stinky to throw in funds for that, or were you able to? I'm doing all right, and I got.
So I do want to go back to the Church Boy situation. Too. And I'll get back. I'll fast forward this real quick.
You're
I promise.
Good.
People got to know the story.
I'll sit here till 10 o'clock. It's whatever time you want to get out of here.
I'm gonna speed this up real quick.
Okay.
So I go to the liquor store, and I remember a few years ago, Church Boy invited me to the studio that was back in the back corner of the liquor store, and this is where the studio is now. The guy that was running the studio, he played for the Chiefs. I may or may not remember his name right now, but he played for the Chiefs.
Okay.
He got hurt. He couldn't. I'm not going to say he couldn't afford it because I don't know. But I guess he let some other people take over the studio, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do with it.
Your place in this right sounds familiar.
Right now, yeah. Okay. The place that I'm in right now was someone else's studio before I got in it.
Right.
But they just had it for a few months.
Sure.
And I'm recording Mr. Stinky. Mr. Stinky lives around the corner from this place. So I go to the liquor store to check or to get whatever I need to get. And then I'm like, oh, I remember being at this place. Let me go back here and look. So I go back here and look. I look in the window, and it's still set up like a studio. The studio that you walked into.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't build any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it had for rent sign. You know, we getting the neighbors mad at us at Stink's house, and fast forward, I'm like, yo, Stink, I just seen this place. Let's go in on a spot together. I called a lady, and she tells me a ridiculous low price. She said it's been vacant forever. We get the keys like that next Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like December 1st, 2013. Like,
okay.
We got the keys.
Shit, I would have come in January or February, so you would have been brand new.
Brand new.
Okay.
For sure. Yep. And
cool.
And we had people, like I said, I was doing it outside the house. So
right.
So what happened was Stink's studio gear at his house, the studio gear at my house, we just moved in there. That was our compound. Like, look, no neighbors.
And that basically not a whole lot that you had to buy.
Yeah, we
right?
already had the studio stuff. We
Sweet.
maybe some little upgrades
right,
and stuff.
Right.
But some acoustics paneling and but yeah, from the crib I had everything already.
Nice.
Yeah. So fast forward, we in there. Things are going cool. Slowly building up our clientele base, and I have to shout him out again. Like, honestly, man, Mr. Stinky brought a lot of business through. He's he's toured with Tech Nine and all sorts of people. Like, he's established artist. You know what I'm saying? And he showed me and told me a lot of game. We was going out of town promoting. So he came up with the name too, Industry Soundz.
Okay.
Honestly, only thing I did. There was already a studio named Industry Soundz in Detroit, but they might have closed or something. I don't know. I just added the Z instead of the S. Yeah, because at first I was like, "Nah, I don't want that name." Woo, woo, woo. We ain't there yet.
Hey, so shouts out to Mr. Stinky.
Shout out to Mr. Stinky.
Kevin Churchboy Johnson. Do I have it right?
Yes.
What were you?
Church. My fault. He wants to drop the boy.
Oh, my bad.
He's Church. He's a man now.
Shouts out to Church. You wanted to go back to him though.
Yeah. Well, that's how we got the space because he invited me to that studio before. Yeah. So we can fast forward too now. Stink, he moved to Vegas. He's doing his thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He loves it out there, and I go out there, try to visit and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But
doing his thing like shows or recording or
all of that. He's still an active artist. You know what I'm saying? He does rap and like reggae, dance hall kind of thing. So he got like a wide range. You can't really box him in. He'll do a pop track.
Nice.
Yeah, but so he moves to Vegas probably within the 3 or 4 years of us being open. So from there I'm kind of like maintaining it. Like I said, my cousin and his crew, they're coming down from Iowa. He's sending people down. Now I got people driving from Des Moines, Iowa to book studio time with me, right? On a regular.
Okay.
It's really not far. I hate that people think that places are far.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Hopefully Highway Patrol don't listen to this, but I'll be getting there a lot faster.
That's less far than St. Louis.
Really? Really?
So, are you born and raised, KC? Okay. Mm-hmm. How did your folks meet?
My folks met at Ruskin High School.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad is a little bit older than my mom. My dad was friends with my uncle.
Sure.
And got at my mom.
Yeah. I've maybe met 2 people that went there, and both of them are like, no joke. Like, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. Like, there can be rough times if you're not. I don't know. What was your experience like?
I didn't go to.
Oh, your folks did. Yeah. My bad.
I was in the Hickman Mills School District, though. But and I'm sure back in that time frame it was a lot different. I'm not for sure.
Right.
They don't really talk about their high school experience much now that I think about it.
Are they still together?
No.
Okay. Were they? I mean, how long have they been split?
They split when I was 5.
Okay.
And honestly, that was life changing too.
I mean, same age,
really
ish. So I thought it was 7, and then I was like, I don't know if that math adds. It's somewhere in that 5 to 7 window. Life changing. Why?
My pops wasn't in the house as much, and my mom has been and always was kind of like the one making the call and decision. My pops, he still would and he ended up moving down the street, which is crazy.
From you right now?
No, growing up as a kid.
Okay.
But he always disciplined us. I mean, my pops could call me on the phone and scare the living shit out of me.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the number one threat in my experience.
Yeah.
The number one threat, if you live with your mom, that your mom can throw at you is, don't make me call your father.
Man.
All right. What'd you say? Pick this up now? All right, I'll do it.
Yeah. I remember as a teenager, man, I did some foolish things. I did a lot of foolish things, but I was supposed to be somewhere and I wasn't. And when my dad showed up, he showed up wearing a full sweatpants suit with a belt around his waist.
Oh, man. That'll send a message.
Like, this dude is off the chain. This dude is completely ridiculous. Like, I know I'm getting my ass whooped.
Right. And siblings?
I have a older brother. I actually have a second half older brother I've never met. I've talked to him and seen him. He looks like me.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't actually met him yet.
Right.
Every time he comes to town, I'm doing something, and it just never has happened. My other brother met him, and the whole family's met him, but just me personally, I haven't met him. But we're going to make that happen.
So life-changing for you just in the sense of dad being a disciplinarian, or?
Yep. Mom couldn't discipline us like dad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And mom worked her ass off and stuff and still does. And she's probably the person that has gave me the best, like installed a lot of good things. My dad has too, but she's installed a lot of, my mom's a super good person, a nice person, but you know, having two boys, me and my brother was kind of like just getting over on whatever we could, being slick and slicker, you know. He's slick, I'm slicker.
Yeah. So if they were, are that you're tight with both of them, your mom and dad, and do they interact with each other at all? Or?
Not too much. I mean, they would, you know, have conversations about us. My dad's been remarried twice now afterwards, but it took them a while to even like be in the same room. I think like my 18th birthday, one of the things I really wanted was that. So I invited my whole family. We went out like to Gates. Nice. That was like the first time like they might have seen each other in passing and stuff.
Sure.
But, you know, they had to go to court and all that. You know, they didn't like really like each other. You know, I mean, divorce can be nasty. You know, now they're cool, but you know, they don't talk or, you know, but they can be cordial. They can be, you know, they come to the birthday parties and stuff together. Oh, yeah. So like
that's how I learned how to be a good liar.
Yeah.
Because by the time I'm like,
you're not lying,
cutting grass and eventually have a job and so forth, I'm so tired of the fighting.
Yeah.
That I learned how to manipulate the truth.
Yeah.
And you know what? Less fighting.
Yep.
Basically down to no fighting. But so if you were 5, I mean, you probably don't have memories of them both under the same roof, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you have memories of either one of them putting music on?
A little bit.
Playing albums, turning on the radio.
Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff were they into?
Around us, they never played anything with cursing or anything like that. I remember my dad like playing a lot of R&B stuff. My dad also likes Jimi Hendrix. I kind of call myself a hip hop baby because my mom like loves Jay-Z.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that was one, but she would buy the edited versions. Like that was the very first CD I purchased like with my own money too. It was like an edited Jay-Z version. I can't remember the story, the Dynasty.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't know any of the cuss words. I'm like thinking I know them and putting them in, but I really didn't.
We had my boy who's 9 had a 9:15 and a 12:15 basketball game, and I'm all of the boys are kind of like on the same team for all the sports.
Yeah,
a small school, so you know the parents real well. And this one dad, I've been trying to just gently talk him into doing an episode, just because for a second I coached soccer.
Okay.
And I would see him sitting in his car with earbuds or AirPods in, and so I was like, "Are you listening to music?" And so he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. But he hasn't committed yet. So anyway, I was sitting next to him at the game this morning, and I was like, "I got this dude coming over today," and he chose 2 records by 3 different people. When I told him Jay-Z, he asked me, and he got one of them, but the other one, he's like, "Why'd he choose that? Why didn't he?" I was like, "I don't know, man." But that's the first one you bought.
That's why.
Perfect reason.
Yeah,
perfect.
I listened to it so much.
Nice. So that was the first record for you. What are you? Somebody that's been? Do you go to shows?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What was your first one?
My first concert I went to, my mom took us. I don't remember it. I don't remember what year, but my mom took me and my brother to Usher and Janet Jackson.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
And I was an Usher fan too.
Sure.
I ain't gonna lie.
He was when he showed up, he was slick.
Yeah.
Like he had, in my opinion, which is not very broad. But he had a sound that I'd not heard before, and it was good and catchy, and it sounded like he knew what he was doing. So
his beats, Jermaine Dupri, like amazing, amazing producer, one of my favorites. But yeah,
somebody just 2 episodes before you, one of her records was So Def Bass All Stars Volume 2.
Okay.
Producer credits Jermaine Dupri. Yeah. And I was like, why is Jermaine Dupri's name on this? Is it a compilation? And then I was like, oh, he produced this shit. Yeah. Okay. All right. You do you.
Dope. Yeah. I love R&B too, you know.
So where was Usher and Janet Jackson?
At the Kemper Arena.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Packed out too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So funny story, and I don't remember too much. You know, we watched, I think Usher came out first. We watched the whole Usher show, whatever. Woo. Janet Jackson comes out. And I don't know if you ever seen Janet Jackson back in the day, but she would put on a show.
I mean, she's fine as can be to start, and talented.
So
but of course, like I think everybody knows that the Rhythm Nation, that tour album, that was a major production. Like, right? Like every single show. I mean, the video, like everything was like tons of people. Tons of crew, tons of probably wardrobe changes. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That. Let's talk about that.
Yes, please.
So my mom, I love her to death. She is real conservative.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hence the edited versions.
Yeah.
Of hip-hop records.
For sure.
Yeah.
So she didn't allow us around a lot of things.
Okay.
You know, or tried to protect us.
I mean, good for her. Things. Like, shouts out to mom.
Shout out to mom. You know what I'm saying? She tried to save us.
All you can do is try. You're a parent now.
Yeah.
All you can do is try.
For real. So Janet Jackson comes out, invites some guy on stage, maybe does 1 or 2 songs, invites some guy on stage and wants to give him a lap dance.
Did she always do that? I've seen a video.
I think so.
And the one, I'm like, the dude's like having a seizure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
I think that was part of the act. I almost felt like even then as a kid, I was like, this is staged.
Set up. Yeah.
Like, you didn't just randomly pick a random guy from the crowd.
But
maybe she
still.
did. But yeah, still. So my mom is covering my eyes.
So she didn't drop you off and pick you up. She
Hell
came
nah.
in.
That man, we never got to do anything like that. Never. She never let us spend the night at anyone's house. Like, I could count like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
You know, I got to, like, she would get any and every question for the parents.
Sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? She had to know.
Sounds like
exactly
a fantastic mom, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, she was trying to definitely do her part.
It's when you hear about a mom or a dad that aren't asking the questions and aren't doing the investigating and the legwork. Sure. You're like, you're either lazy or you don't care about your kids.
She didn't want nothing to happen to us. I think, and I can't really recall, but I don't think anything happened to her as a kid. But I think coming up as a kid, she's seen some things, and she was like, nope.
Well, stuff happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be under your roof or your kid's friend's roof, but somewhere.
Yeah, and that's probably the scariest thing. Like, as a kid or as a parent, like, I don't want anything to happen to my kid.
No.
Especially if I could have prevented it. Been a little bit more safe, you know. So I get it now as an adult, but as a kid I used to be so mad. But she covered my eyes. I remember her covering my eyes during that and some other movie. But she covered my brother was watching.
What's the age difference?
5 years.
Okay.
So I don't know how old I was. Maybe if I was 10, he was 15. You know what I'm saying?
She was so fine. I haven't seen her. I haven't Googled her recently. So I don't know.
She's still fine.
That's what I thought. I mean.
She's still fine.
I don't know what would be. I guess if you had to pick, you're gonna be the guy that she does that to, and either surprise or setup. I guess I would probably go for setup because then at least I could be ready. But if it's all just on the spot, I mean, I'd probably be, I'd probably be talking to myself so much that I would not even have a memory of the experience. Like, stand still, don't look there, don't put your hands down at your side. You know what I'm saying? So I guess if you know it's coming, you can prepare.
I mean, shout out to those guys. They were lucky for that one right there.
Man, that sounds like a pretty fantastic show.
That was my first concert.
Whether it's your first show or your 10th.
That was my very first concert. I mean,
did you walk out of there stoked? Were you like, that was awesome?
We left early.
Oh, because mom was like, that's enough of this.
Yeah. She was like, oh yeah, this guys ain't old enough for this one.
So how long have you been writing music?
Ooh, really since elementary school.
Okay.
I was recording myself on tape by the 4th grade for sure.
Okay. Into what?
I got a karaoke machine for my grandmother. Crazy story on that too. My grandmother had passed in April, and she bought me that gift before she passed. And you know, when your parents or grandparents or something like that pass, your whole family like is, you know, not thinking clear. My mom had my Christmas gift from my grandma. It was either Christmas or birthday. It might have been my birthday present because she passed in April. My birthday's in May, so it might have been my birthday present. My fault. She had it in the trunk of her car. My mom did, and just forgot to give it to me for a while. And was like, "Oh shoot!" She found it one day. This is from your grandma. She gave this to you before you passed, so it really was more special to me for then.
Yeah.
Because it's something I asked for, and I didn't get it. But then when I did get it, I was like, oh yeah.
It almost makes it cooler.
It's going down now. So
nice.
She got me a karaoke machine. I've always been like really into technology. Anything I can get my hands on. So my brother had got a CD player. I hooked the CD player up to the tape player, and the karaoke machine came with 2 microphones.
Nice.
And I mean, at least where kind of how I grew up and where I grew up from, I feel like every kid kind of goes through that. I want to rap stage or I want to make music stage. So
yeah, absolutely.
My brother went through it first, and I seen him and his friends kind of messing around with it. And like I said, I hooked the stuff up, so I get into it. I basically did everything my brother did, even though he was a few years older than me.
Yeah.
So like I said, I got into it then really young, but I hooked up the stuff. We had, I don't know how we got these. My brother was into technology too, but somehow we got instrumental CDs.
I was just gonna say. Yeah. So, it's with very little information. It sounds like you could put on a CD, record it to tape, but also
put my voice on.
Yeah. And so then I was going to be like, but how do you do that if it's not an instrumental? Yeah. Because then you're just competing with the person that already recorded the vocal.
I don't know how we got. I need to ask him how we got those, because I remember like rapping to like Mobb Deep. I don't remember whatever beats were out around that time. The instrumental. Well, I do remember though that CDs did come. Like if you got they used to sell the single CDs, and it'd be like the dirty version. I hit the mic. Okay. The dirty version, the radio version, and the instrumental. That's how they used to sell them.
If you bought a single.
So maybe someone had a whole bunch of those, and we were rapping on instrumentals. That's all I know.
And recording and rapping over it, and you could play it back
on tape
and listen to yourself
on tape. I gotta keep saying that.
No, I know.
Cassette tape. Just because some of these young people, they don't even understand.
They'll never know the struggle if you're trying to get to the beginning of a song that you want to listen to.
Yeah.
And you go a little too far. It's not just. And then, 3 years difference between my sister and I. And, so by the time she's driving, her first car's got a CD player in it. Mm-hmm. And so she, only had this real small window of tapes, and her tape collection was small. And so immediately she loses, or never has, the ability to identify songs by their name. It's track 5. It's number 8, because that's how she's doing it in the house and in the car. Yeah, just I like the 5th one.
And then it didn't display it yet, either. So
yeah, on tape. But even though it was on tape, I bet it was really freaking cool. Mm-hmm. But to hear your stuff.
Yes and no.
Well, if you can get over this hating the sound of your own voice.
I mean, it was a bunch of us. Like we thought we were. I don't remember the show, but BET had a show in the basement with Tigger. It's like a bunch of people freestyling around a mic and stuff. Or he would show videos and then he would be freestyling with artists and stuff. So we were kind of just on some stuff like that, talking about stuff that we did not understand.
Yeah.
I actually got in trouble as well. I thought I was cool, you know. I probably told some classmates or whatever, or wanted to showcase my talent. I go to school with one of the tapes, and the teacher, I don't think she played it for the class. I can't remember, but I know she played it because I think she played it first, and then she pulled me to the side, and she was like, you know, this is cool, but she asked me about a word I had said, and I really didn't know what the hell I was saying, like I said. But I had used the word ecstasy.
Okay.
And now, you know, being an adult and actually knowing what the word is, I probably still could have used that word. It wasn't necessarily a bad word. No. I don't remember how I used it.
Sure.
But
well, it's either an experience or a drug.
Yeah.
Right?
So
those are the only two.
She took it as the drug.
Okay.
And she said, no, we can't play this for the class.
Okay.
So that's how I like really remember distinctively like exactly what time period that was, like 5th grade. Like I was making music by 5th grade.
And you're at what school?
Truman Elementary.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there.
Not a small school, right?
It wasn't very big.
Okay.
But yeah, probably not a small school for the 90s.
Is there a Truman High?
Yeah, that's different though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truman High School's in Independence.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That
this
place
is Truman Elementary School, yeah.
That place looks huge.
Yeah.
When you drive past it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next to that Walmart, I think.
Yeah. So you're recording your own stuff as far back as 5th grade, but I mean, are you pen and paper?
I don't think so. I think I was just rhyming and
okay.
Just
did you ever at any point begin to write stuff down? And do you do it now, or do you use your phone, or
a combination?
Okay.
Now, honestly, I don't have a lot of time. I don't write anymore. I punch in and kind of use the studio as my writing board. I will here and there, like I'll sit down and write a song, but I don't have the time to.
Okay.
So like I'll explain it real quick. Like I'll go in the booth, I'll say a couple of bars, stop, think, say a couple of bars, stop. Sometimes it flows. Like sometimes I can go through, but like I'll cut in and kind of do more editing, and then that may not even be the final draft. Like I'll ride around to that and be like, dang, I could have said this better than I said that. So let me go back and switch that.
Okay.
You know, so I kind of
that counts as writing.
Yeah, I just don't physically write it down.
It's like if you're gonna paint and you don't do pencil first, you just go right with the brush and the paint, and no going back on that stuff. But you can go back on yours, and so I mean, are you doing that weekly or just when inconsistently because time is?
Yeah. I've actually taken a step back. Like I said, I took a lot of my music down off the streaming services. I've taken a step back from the artistry myself. I just got married.
Right.
You know, trying to get these businesses straightened out. And honestly, being an artist is the least lucrative one.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't I know?
So, you know, you gotta put your eggs in different baskets and see which one is gonna hatch and do its thing first. I just released a song a few months ago.
Nice.
In May. You can go look that up. It's called That's How You Know.
Okay.
But I'm just doing it more carefully now. Like I said, I was growing up, I see all these artists and putting out projects, and I got used to, I actually love that concept still, but it's so much harder. And then also, I want to definitely speak on this, man, the mental that being an artist takes you to sometimes can be very, very hurtful. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it can be
roller coaster for sure. So I kind of got into, I had put out a project in 2018. I put out 3 projects in 2018, and I lost my cousin as well, which was like my right hand man.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate that.
Right before pandemic, basically.
Yeah,
a year, I guess.
Yeah, and man, it sent me through that roller coaster. Like I had a project with him.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Like me and him made music together. And that album is still out there, Live Long Big Walk. And we didn't finish it, and there might be a part 2. But me and my cousin, that was like it's like my cousin, but it's like my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up together. He went to Truman with me. We moved to Lee Summit. He went to Lee Summit with me. We moved to Blue Springs. He moved to Blue Springs. Like,
wow.
Like, you can't even make this up, right? And we didn't plan none of that out. We're kids.
Yeah. You just,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're just living. But like God really put him in my life for a real reason. He was my biggest motivator too. Like, the days I'm like, man, fuck this shit. He was like, I even talk about it on the music, on the first song on the album. I was like, really said, fuck this music. Put me back on. Like, he was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you need to make another song. Like, he was the first one that, like, my song Bag Talk, he was the first one to tell me it was on the radio. I didn't even have a clue.
On the radio where?
On Hot 103, KPRS. Yep.
What?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
How did they?
I sent it to him, but I forgot. Okay. Like, I sent it to, like, I got an email list. I just sent it to, like, all the DJs I knew. Like, yo, I got the single, boom, boom, boom. Let's see what it does. And he called me one day. He was like, man, cuz I just heard your song on the radio. I'm like, quit lying. That's how we talk to each other. You know, I'm like, quit playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we joking shit a lot. I'm like, quit playing. Boom, boom. Next week, me and him used to go out a lot. I don't even go out no more because, you know. But me and him used to go out a lot, and we was driving down to P&L from the studio one night. I'm riding with him. We listen to the radio. Boop, comes on.
Nuh-uh.
I'm like,
did you freak out?
Well, I was geeked.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. I was excited. Yeah, but he was like, I told you I heard your song. You know,
that's awesome.
Like, yeah, I'm like, so yeah.
And so, if your song's on the radio and the DJ's gonna come back on after it ends, would they say that was MABkc with?
I think there was a time like that.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I don't have all the radio clippings, of course, but I do have like a video on my Instagram of me in the car, like hearing the song on the radio. So like, it's validation. You know, like other people told me like, "Boy, I heard you on the radio." I'm like, "Thanks, man." Like, and I didn't ask for that. Like, people always think like I paid or like I like no, I just sent it in, and then other people like, I'm like, bro, go to their website. Like, it tells you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, submit the song into this. Like, I just have an email, like a list of DJs. Like, every time I want to shoot something out, I'm like, boop, DJs. I don't even use it a lot, but people think of like I like did something crazy. I'm like, no, bro, I just sent my song in. Like, you can do it too. I'm like, if they pick up your song and like it, you know, you gotta make sure it's radio edited, all of that. Like, I mean,
ready to go,
man. And I freestyled that song. I didn't write it. Like, it was one night I was in the studio late, punching in, boop, 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 boop,
and then you have a place where if you record a couple bars or whatever, you save it and put it somewhere safe, like
just in my folder. Like, I got a folder on my computer,
right? But it's not just, you know, you take care of it, right? It's not just.
I don't like just like rap anytime though. Like, it has to be a feeling, you know,
right?
And usually to a beat.
Mm-hmm.
I like. Every once in a while, like, one-liners come to my. That's the time I'll use my phone. Like, if I'm out just thinking and I think of like a crazy one-liner, I'll put it in my phone.
Yep.
Oh, that's a hard bar.
Yeah. So you said you had a project with your cousin that is out there, but it wasn't finished.
It wasn't finished, no.
I had a dude, 32, Josh Dubois. Mm-hmm. He does video stuff for a living, and actually, he ended up making one or two Chiefs videos with Mac Lethal.
Okay.
And when we were sitting there talking, we were talking about projects and art, and he goes, finished is always better than perfect, right? And I was like, I don't know what that means. And then later I was like, yes, it is, because what is perfect? I mean,
exactly.
You're never going to be like, I love 100% of this with all my heart.
Yeah.
But a finished project, you can feel proud.
For sure.
Here's what I did good at. Here's where I didn't. Here's where I need some improvement.
Yes.
But I'm glad I did that. It felt good to do. It was a learning experience.
Growth.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so we landed on your cousin in that project because you mentioned his passing and sort of taking a step back from the artist's shoes. because it can be a roller coaster. Have there been other significant ups or downs?
Yeah. I take that with the gift and the curse. I feel like, oddly enough, 2018 was my best year musically though. You see what I'm saying?
Because
I was in the studio a lot. Like I'm working on 3 projects. Me and Mr. Stinky got a project out. It's called Keep Counting.
Okay.
Me and my cousin was doing the project. We didn't really have a name for it. But I called it Live Long Big Walk to keep his name going. There might be a part 2. We still got like probably 10, 20 songs in the vault.
Okay.
And we might remix and recreate some of the other stuff. I got my studio files from like 2009.
Nice.
Not everything. I've lost a lot of stuff, but he's been with me since 2005-ish recording.
Sure.
2004, my cousin,
Yeah, okay.
Like, I mean, in elementary school, we would be on the phone and call each other in freestyle, back
and
then.
And the other person would sit there and patiently listen?
Yeah, then it's their turn.
And then give feedback, or just now it's your turn? Okay.
It's his turn.
Okay.
And then he has an older brother. I call him Juelz. This is his nickname. He would be in the background freestyling until I remember these things. Like I'm saying, you can't erase that.
No.
So like we've been being creative in that aspect forever.
Sure.
And I have a lot of his vocals, and it's up to the family as well. I also want to make sure I'm being respectful to them, and they encourage it.
Right. Oh, good.
But also the times and stuff, like I listen to some of the stuff like riding around, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm sure they're good feelings that people are going to get, but I don't want to cause any sorrow or sad feelings for people, or too emotional, hearing some of the content. So some of the stuff I keep, but we have a plan to. I just got off the phone with him not too long ago. I've seen him like the last 2 days, but this year we're gonna comb through all the music that I got.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna start releasing a lot of the older stuff too.
Now you take on a project like that. Mm-hmm. And who knows, say you start January 1st and it takes you, for whatever reason, it winds up taking you 2 years.
Right.
Is there just the belief that maybe one day this project generates revenue, or do you not care about that and you just want the project complete, or like, is there any kind of feeling?
Yeah. I mean, it's family, like, so anybody that's close to me is taken care of, in that aspect. But even the project that's out now, streaming is shit. I spoke on it once, twice. Yeah. Streaming is shit. It's something, but it's not nothing that's gonna. Unless it can. Let me not say that. Streaming can change your life.
Right.
It hasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I have a million plus plays, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it hasn't for me yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that. And there's different platforms, but let's say it does. I'm gonna take care of the fam.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
But I guess maybe the better question would be, if you finish this project mm-hmm. and it generates no revenue whatsoever, mm-hmm. are you bothered at all that you put in the time, or are you just completely stoked that you tackled the project and completed it?
Yeah, I love my own music, as well, and I know that there are, I got, like I said, I got people, especially with songs with him on it. He has a lot of friends and family. Anyone that came across my cousin, Jeremy, we call him Big Walk. Anyone and people know him as Big Walk.
Okay.
Anyone that has came across Big Walk's path, he's touched them in just a crazy way. Even his passing is just, all of it is just, it was just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? But the people that I just seen that loved him, and he would talk to like people I don't even know. He would talk to them about me and share my music. Wow. You go to his Instagram, he's promoting my album and got pictures with me and stuff, like, yo, go check out my cousin's new project. I'm on there. That's like great. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that kind of love, like, he showed with other people though too. he would pull up on other people, making sure that they're straight. Like,
nice.
You know, he's a good person, a good friend, you know, a protector, you know. So, like, when you guys, and he was a big guy, too. He played for KU, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he played for Warrensburg, too, probably a couple other schools. Football player, you know what I'm saying? He could have played basketball, too. So, you know what I'm saying? He knew a lot of people, you know, athletes.
Yeah.
So, he's an athletic guy, big guy, singer. He had a lot of friends and family and people that loved him. So that people that knew that he made music too, you know, with me, you know, he didn't really sing with nobody else.
Nice.
You know, so he was getting to that point. He's probably like on a couple of other people's songs. He's on another song that's on the radio, actually doing background vocals. And people
really?
don't know that. Yeah.
He must have a nice voice then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love Macy. She goes by Macy. Or Love Macy. Her name's Macy. She has a song on the radio that played for 2 or 3 years, Anxious, and he's singing background vocals on that song.
Nice.
A lot of people don't know that.
Shouts out and R.I.P. to Big Walk, man.
Thank you, man.
That's I know that's tough. Losing somebody is weird. You said even his passing, like it can bring people together, and you know, in my experience, if that happens, it's pretty quick. Yeah. And then everybody goes back to their lives, and you're kind of on your own, right?
That's true.
I mean, you still have
to deal with
friends and family that you can talk to and share. But as far as the everyday, you know, grind or whatever, like you're kind of on your own, and it can be tough, I think. Sometimes.
That took me a while to get over, and I can't say I'm 100% over dealing with those feelings, but I feel so much better about it now. Like, a year or two ago, like, you might have seen a tear, like, just even talking about him. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, he's my little cousin. Like, we're related from distant cousins, but, like, he's 10 days younger than me.
Okay.
10 days, literally. My birthday is the 21st, his is the 31st. We're both Geminis. So we have a lot in common, you know what I'm saying? And the fact, like, he was just a good person, and he never, like, did any drugs. He wasn't involved in no crazy stuff. So for us to, like...
He must have had a good mom, too.
Yeah. Oh, amazing mom. And RP, his mom just passed Monday.
Oh, damn.
Crazy. Yeah.
What?
I know. Yeah. Just like, family just dealing with...
5-6 days ago?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, his mom just passed Monday. She was dealing with a lot of health issues.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's why, like I said, I've been in communication with his brother. He has an older brother, too. But... You know, the family's still blessed, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep the mission. Like,
I love it.
And another crazy thing, and we can transition after this to whatever topic. I mean, we'll bring it back up if we need to. But another thing that made me a little bit more comfortable with it is me and my cousin were so real with each other. We talked about death. For real. We talked about, hey, if I die.
As in out loud?
Yeah.
To one another.
We had real conversations. Like, nothing was left off the board.
Okay.
We talked about music. We talked about women. We talked about our real lives. Because death is something we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So
I think most of us are trying, our whole life, trying to keep it out of the, you know. But eventually you're going to be facing it, right?
Yeah, we talked about it so much, like not a lot. We talked about it so much, though, that he knew what to do if I passed.
Okay, and vice versa. So he always said, stick to the mission, cuz, like, boom, sticking to the mission. You
know what I'm
can't
saying?
give up now.
I can't. I really can't.
I'm half kidding and half serious.
I'm serious. I can't. I'm too far in. I tell my mom that all the time. She's like, you just get a regular job or woo. You're right. I'm like,
mom.
Moms are moms, you know what I'm saying? But
they're only looking out for
exactly.
You know?
And my mom, she has amazing advice too all the time, like I said. But this one, Mom, I'm doing it. And everybody else see it too, and it's crazy. I mean, 9 years.
That ain't nothing, man. Especially like, you know, lots of people, not necessarily in your line of work, but I mean, lots of businesses struggled and then didn't make it through the pandemic.
COVID. Woo, that was tough.
So you made it. And so that
was tough.
20 years, restaurant work, and the last 9 have been selling to him. selling to restaurants. So like
we'll talk about that after the show.
I know I've worked for a lot of people that operate or own restaurants. I know fairly well some people that own restaurants, and so first of all, you gotta show up and expect almost to lose money for the first couple or 3 years, and then if you survive that, and so you're okay, you're cruising along. But really, the next measure of success is, are you paying yourself, and is the restaurant generating profit?
Man,
both have, because you see a lot of owners that they're like, yeah, we're making a profit. I mean, not enough to pay myself.
Yeah.
And so they're going in and doing 20, 40, 50 hours a week, and that doesn't pay their bills for them. So, I mean, are you the things generating profit and you're paying yourself?
I honestly can say, and blissfully, like this year, I have seen tremendous growth. Every year has been growing. That's why I haven't gave up.
Right.
If it wasn't,
and you got to believe, right?
Faith.
Yeah.
You got to, like, I believe so. And of course, sometimes your mind will play that trick on you. Or
your mind's
bad
good
things.
at that.
Yeah, really good at it. And you have like other factors, that may pop up. Everyone, and that's why I try to stress too, like, we all go through BS. And I want to say the real word.
Say it all day.
We all go through bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
man.
For real. Every single, and especially with the COVID and pandemic, I feel like things really took a flip.
Even the people that just looking at them makes you go, ugh. That person also.
Yeah.
Which is why, hopefully you're following some collection of people, social media, online, in the newspaper, books, whatever it is. Hopefully the idea is coming across your path of be nice to somebody, because you never know what bullshit they're dealing with.
For sure.
Even the people that piss you off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I try to carry positive energy. Even this morning, I was dealing with a situation, and I wanted to like just go off on a guy, like for real. Like I'm like in my mind, I'm like, bro, I want to beat you up.
Sometimes you gotta go off on somebody.
I want to punch you in the face, like. But I'm not a violent person or anything, I just like I took a couple. Deep breathing is important.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta
breathing
breathe.
and
Water and breathing, man.
Sleep.
Yeah. Oh,
sleep.
Yeah. I'm learning that more because I used to not sleep. But
don't do that.
Oh man, I sleep now. I sleep real good now.
Nice. At
least 6 to 8. Sometimes 4, but 6 to 8.
Just almost made me drool hearing those numbers.
Sometimes 4. 6 to 8 though is recommended.
4. I'm on 4 right now, and I'm
get like that.
I'm paying for it.
It get like that. It definitely does. And
but why on a Saturday morning somebody was?
Oh yeah, I woke up to a couple of notifications about the business.
Okay.
Things I had to handle, and I text the guy. I'm like, yo, what's going on with this? Just casually having a conversation, when I really was like, where you at right now?
But you were chill.
I mean,
you chose to be chill.
What I've learned too, and this is a lesson learning I had to learn growing up, and it got me every time. When I go and act a certain way after something happens, I'm always the one that pays for it. Every single time.
Ain't that the truth?
And it's always way worse than what this side has done. So I learned that very young. So
it's like it tricks the inner ugly in you to come out, and then and then it's like, oh, that's just how that person is, and you're like, no.
I always got to pay for it more. That's what in any kind of way. Literally, I always have to pay for it more.
Dude. So a text. I'm in my rookie season on this. And my rookie season is turning out to be like 8 years long. But a text or an email or a voicemail, something that generates a reaction, like a significant reaction, step away. Step away. Don't fire back, because you're probably going to pay.
Text messages also, I don't really like it. I will text you, and I try to like not put too much in it or on it. But text messages can get read the wrong way.
I know.
So much.
I know.
Me and my kid's mom do that a lot.
I mean, and when you and if you're aware of that is a thing that can and does happen. It's oftentimes it's after the fact when they're like, oh, and then you go back and you're like, oh, I see that now.
It's like, and I've done it too. I'm guilty, but it's like they read it in a certain way. Like, how can you read a text message in a way that you think that I'm saying it in? Like,
right.
Don't read it for that. Read it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
But I texted the guy this morning. I'm like, yo, we got a situation. I want to resolve it. Because that's step one. Like, let's see if we can figure this out without cursing at each other, without, any kind of pulling up or woo. I'm going to let you fix it first. That's what I learned. Like, anytime someone's done something, I'm going to see if you can fix it first. Then, if not, we move on to phase 2. If not, we move on to phase 3. And phase 3 is usually I'm going to leave it alone, or I'm coming at you like this.
I think that maybe for me at least, there's like a half step before step 1, and that's trying to gauge, is the person willing to try and fix it?
I like
because
that.
Because a lot of times people are like,
screw you.
That's you.
Yeah.
That's why should I care?
Screw
it's
you.
Like, okay,
that's how I read the text.
So, like, anyway, but
water splashed on me.
We to get to where we are today, you gave me a list of 6 records, which is real fascinating. That it, like I mentioned, it's 2 by this guy, 2 by this guy. And so it starts with Tupac.
Yeah.
1995, Me Against the World. I didn't realize that he only had 4 studios before he passed.
Very young.
And then, of course, the list of whatever that's come out since is bigger. But really, I mean, he didn't have a swing and a miss on any of those 4 records. No. They're all like, he was, I know that we should count all the posthumous stuff, but if you look at what he made and got out there before it was his time, there was, I don't think ever anybody like him.
He was in there working.
And I don't think there's been anybody since. I mean, I'm probably not the right person to ask, but I mean, if you want for me, the whole package is a unique, smooth sounding voice, great beats, impactful lyrics, and the work ethic. I mean,
there were like, I feel you on that. There will never be another Tupac.
No,
you know what I'm saying? That's one of a lifetime. Like, but that man was in the studio working. Like, I just watched another interview on him yesterday, and they were like, man, Pac was be like, finish one song, load it up, getting all the homies on the songs. Hey, you rap. Hey, you like this beat? Right to this. Just giving people a shot and stuff like that. Like, that was ahead of it. He was ahead of his time on that.
Yeah, man.
He was ahead of his time on that. Now I feel like, people may have that like catalog and might be putting stuff out, but it doesn't impact. So that's why I like that word you use. His impact was just different.
Yeah. So he's June 16th, 1971, East Harlem. 75 million records sold worldwide amongst the 4, and Me Against the World was number 3.
Wow.
In order of release. How did this one land in your lap? And why did it make your list?
Definitely later than that date, because like I said, my mom wasn't letting us,
Right.
Tupac really got me through high school. I can say. So
okay.
I had a CD player still, especially my freshman year. I think I had iPod.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even make those no more.
Right.
I think I had an iPod like maybe my junior or senior year, but like my freshman year of high school, I had a CD player. Like, but Tupac like literally got me through tough times. I went through a lot, and in those teenage years and growing, like you kind of like finding your own person, you being more of going from a boy to a man. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just put in a situation where it's like, you got this.
And then in my household, you know, my brother's 5 years older than me, so he's going to college.
Right.
And I'm like kind of there.
Where'd you guys go to high school?
Lee Summit High School.
Lee Summit, okay.
Yep. He went to Hickman. And then he went to Lee Summit.
Okay.
He transferred right in there. And then I was at whatever middle school, Irvin. And I kind of was going back and forth. Like I went to elementary school in Lee Summit, then I went to elementary school in Hickman Mills School District. Then I went to they like switched. I think they like go longer in Lee Summit. Like you go up to like 6th grade, and then 7th, 8th.
Right.
But then I got in trouble at Lee Summit and went back to Hickman for middle school, and then I went back to Lee Summit. So I was kind of like doing that.
Yeah.
And technically, we still didn't all the way live in Lee Summit. We just made it happen.
Sure.
My mom was like, "I got to get y'all out of here."
I mean, shouts out to mom again,
for
man.
For real,
looking out for you.
Life changing shit, like for real. Shout out to mom. She really worked her ass off and did her thing for that. And I didn't understand a lot of that, but now I do. You know, at least something changed my life, because I would have been probably doing something else, or like just the people I grew up with. Not to knock them or nothing. Like I actually got love for everybody, but like a lot of the kids that I grew up with, and even in my neighborhood, they were having kids super early and going to jail, and you know, I kind of escaped all of that. Lee Summit did have its cons too, literally.
So,
but yeah,
right in the middle of college for me is when I first I'd heard of Tupac, but actually like got some stuff and started listening to it, and you know, I still believe I'm to my core. I'm an album guy. Like I know that the world went the way of tracks and singles. I get it. I'll accept it, but I also under my breath say fuck that shit. Give me the record.
Yeah.
I want the project that you wrote and went in the studio and put out for the world, and we're all having our same experiences at home or in our car. Anyway, even though I'm an album guy, and even though I've over the years been greatest hits are garbage. It's not the real thing.
It's not.
I've said that for many years, but I've also owned plenty of greatest hits records myself.
Me too.
And Tupac's is an absolute smash.
It is.
I think it's 2 discs or 2 tapes. A nice, healthy list of tracks, and not a single bad. I don't really skip anything on that. So that's all I had until later. But I think that one of the first reasons why I kind of went like, yo, because he was really aggressive and sometimes scary, but could also write a track like So Many Tears.
Yeah,
you can hear the kind of the plucking of the strings and the harmonica, and like get choked up.
For real.
I mean, such an amazing song. I love that track.
Yeah.
A lot. I think Dear Mama is probably in terms of softer.
Sure, that was definitely one of the ones too. Yeah.
But So Many Tears.
Yeah.
All-time fave. Young Inwards. It's got some real funk and groove, and Heavy in the Game also.
Oh man.
And then Dear Mama, Tender. But amazing. So Tupac got you through high school, so that's why this record made the list.
Yeah. So I say Tupac for me. So like, I mean, all corners. Tupac had like some of the best production. Hands down, like West Coast, just their whole the and I California's like one of my favorite places to go to, like even right now. But like their resources, you know what I'm saying? Like
for this industry.
Yeah,
Okay.
for this industry. I mean, now it's getting better, but like at that point in time, like they just had the best of everything. The best producers, the best studios, the best vibe. I mean, and like people consider Kansas City baby California.
Oh, for real?
You never heard of that?
No.
Yeah, like we got a lot of California influence.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll take it.
I mean, we're the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? We're probably like the closer.
We're
to
not the
them.
Mideast.
Yeah, yeah. So, just all of that influence, the vibe, even how Tupac would rap, it would make you feel like this is you. And I think that's like the number one thing that I found myself relatable to Pac. Like,
okay.
Like those stories that he was telling, like, this is about me. Like, he wrote this. How did he know?
Right.
You know?
I didn't have the same experience, but I'll tell you what, everything that he rapped about that I listened to, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see? Like, you know,
that's borderline the same.
Okay.
You know, I just felt it took it more personal, but it's like, this
right.
is what goes on in my house.
Yeah.
This is what is happening to my cousin or my brother or my family member. Like, that's visual. I'm a visual person. So,
yeah. So you know, and by C, I mean he's painting a perfect picture, and a lot of
talk about the same thing.
A lot of the time, I'm like, damn, that is intense. Not a thing that's ever been part of the fabric of my life, but I can see it, and I know that it's real because the picture is so clear. Like you can't make, if you're making it up, it wouldn't be that good.
At
right?
its finest, man. So
you know, no slight or disrespect to Me Against the World, but for me, if I'm putting it next to All Eyez on Me and I only get to pick one,
All Eyez on Me,
all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of the same in that it's a double.
Oh, that mother is fire.
And
this is probably his best studio album.
I kind of think without question.
Yeah.
You know,
studio album.
Ambitions as a Rider for the opener. Yeah. Just really hard and cold. I mean, it's like makes you want to make sure nobody's, you know, like, oh my God, dude.
I love that. Yeah.
All About You. I mean, everybody.
All those just big hits. That's what I'm saying. That production behind it. DJ Quick is amazing,
dude.
That's one of my favorite producers. Slept on.
So, you know, sometimes I'll identify with an artist, and the experience is it's like almost overwhelming. Like, I can contain it, but it almost slipped away for a second. And when Quick As the Name came out, or when I first, I don't know if you're from, I'm pretty sure if it's not his first, it's one of his earliest.
It's up there,
but really, really, really blew me away. I was like, this guy, I'm gonna be president of the DJ Quick fan club. And of course, I derailed after a couple or three albums. I had the same experience. I don't know if you know DJ Magic Mike out of Orlando.
Not as much. I'm pretty sure I heard that name. I'm not familiar with his stuff.
If you don't have professional, you know, like legit woofers and whatnot in you ain't
getting the full experience.
No, you're gonna ruin your stuff.
Ruin shit.
He's the absolute undisputed heavyweight of bass. DJ Magic Mike.
I'm pretty sure I have. I just like my memory bad too.
Dude,
I'm putting that down though.
And I've got a few on tape in the other room.
Yeah,
I mean, so and he was doing stuff. I was like, what is this? Anyway, point being, I felt that way about DJ Magic Mike. I felt that way for a shorter period of time about DJ Quick, but I've like almost never crossed paths with anybody that knows DJ Quick.
He's so slept on,
and I didn't know that he was a producer. You know, I know him as a you know, he did that in the cover of Quick as the Name. He's up against the wall. He's got that drip and Jerry with the. I want to take off that ball cap and see if it's got a stain because his shit looks so wet. But I love whenever I see his name.
DJ Quick is one of the most amazing producers and can play a lot of instruments too. People don't know that.
Real? I didn't know that.
Oh man, he can play guitar, bass, keys.
What? Okay,
he's in there
so
doing the engineering, all of that, like fucking amazing.
Now, how did you arrive at that he's one of the most amazing producers? Just because you've listened to his stuff?
With honestly too, that and without knowing, like, DJ Quick produced this. You know what I'm saying?
You know a track and you find out
afterwards, yeah. And then just diving into, like, bruh is just a amazing legend. Like, he needs his, I don't know if he has the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but he needs one of those. He needs like these award shows need to give him more, you know, credit for what he has done for hip hop. Like that sound.
He started young too. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of dudes do, but to me, when I was like,
I want to meet DJ Quick. I want to like
give him a hug.
Yeah, for sure. And like just like me too, being a producer, I want to make sure more producers know about. And he's still alive, like, you know, still doing tracks. Like, you'll catch a tape here and there, like, or he'll collab. But like, I know him and Dom Kennedy did something like a couple of years back.
Okay.
He'll still like sprinkle some stuff. I know he works with like Sugar Free a lot. That's his guy. So like, I follow him on Instagram. So I just like try to keep up with it. But like, I would love to like make. I don't even gonna say a T-shirt, like, but like we need more DJ Quick. Like, just like people need to know who this man is.
So I think Tonight is the lead track.
Yeah.
And then you got the
that's classic.
And then here we go. Boom, 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 boom. And like an amazing sense of humor.
Yeah, for real.
Talent with the bars. And just telling that story of partying too hard.
Yeah.
And you're like, never again. And then at the end of the song, fuck it, we're doing the same old shit tonight.
Yeah, I think people don't just like, because he definitely had a run, you know what I'm saying, as an artist, but I think people at that time just didn't get it or understand it. It was different. And like that's gold, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff is gold. Like, I feel like, man, like DJ Quick is gonna get so much more notoriety. Like, I hope he lives forever. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
handsome son of a bitch too, right?
Ladies, man. But that's when the world is like really gonna find out. Sadly,
right?
Like how crazy. Like, people, please go look up DJ Quick. Like, it's just.
I've probably jumped from reason to reason for why I loved All About You from the first time I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, I've heard it so much that you know, the shock or whatever that's worn off, right?
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite parts is just, you know, that song comes in hot and I don't know who it is, but somebody goes, "My boy Piznok." I've always loved that, you know, because it felt organic. Like maybe he didn't call him that before that moment, or maybe he did, but anyway, it's just clever. Scandalous, Nate Dogg vocals. Man. Nate Dogg's just butter, man.
Exactly, another great gone too soon. Like, I don't know if he had perfect pitch, but I want to say like damn near close. Like,
I think for this genre and this industry, like if there's somebody with,
we needed more Nate Dogg, man. I don't know if they have Nate Dogg. Like, I don't think he was working like that, like how we got Tupac, but.
No,
I don't think he was.
No, because he was like here and there, featuring, and then he made his own shit.
Yeah,
but he didn't make much.
Yeah, he didn't. Man.
And then he kind of went back to featuring. I feel like
he has a son or something out now that's like sings and making music.
Okay,
kind of sounds like him.
Oh, nice, really.
But man, we need more of that. Like, please, like.
So this is also where I I became aware of the fact that you can go into the studio with your whatever, 37 tracks, and maybe put out a record with 11 or 12 on it.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I am aware that you're bringing this guy in and this guy in. He's going to do this track and he's going to do this track. And then we're going to have a track where there's like 4 or 5 of us. And I was like, you don't really see that often at all in like rock.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
So, I mean, you got Daz, Method Man, Redman, and Corrupt on Got My Mind Made Up. I mean, it's like Hall of Fame lineup right there for one song. I mean, and that doesn't speak to the list of people that are on the whole record.
Right.
So just cool. How Do You Want It, of course, one of the great beats of all time.
Jodeci.
2 of America's Most Wanted. I mean, this is a different... This version is not the one that everybody came to know and love.
For sure. They did a different...
Juiced it up and gave it some more... But anyway...
Remastered.
It's a great trio of Hearts of Men, Life Goes On, and Only God Can Judge Me Now.
Yeah, that I played Only God Can Judge Me probably 1,000 times in my basement. Like, that's where I slept as a kid.
Sure.
In the basement.
Yeah.
Probably 1,000 times on my... I think is CD Walkman. I think they had Walkman.
Discman.
Discman. Discmaker. Yeah, one of them.
Yeah,
1,000 times.
Okay,
like that got me through so much, like suicidal stuff, just everything, like anything. That was my go-to song. Like it really just like I'm about to get back at everybody. Like like I'm not about to let this get me down. Like Only God Can Judge Me was my shit.
And a great example of how auto-tune can work if you do it right.
Oh yeah.
That backing. Only God can judge me.
That's Talkbox.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Roger Troutman.
Okay.
Yeah, Talkbox.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if he did that one, but Roger Troutman made the Talkbox like legendary. There was a couple other people too, but
I misspoke. California Love is a different version. 2 of America's Most Wanted is the same one we've always
with the different boom,
Yep.
So then they had the other bass line. It's a little different. It's more boom, 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 boom. It's more bouncy.
Rapping Forte. I mean, he gets too short.
Yeah,
Don't fight the feeling.
Yeah.
He was on Master P's Make Him Say, and here was, and then of course he had his. What was his in the club? Or
I can't remember his song. But I remember him.
It was a baller track.
Yeah.
He just keeps. I mean, across decades.
Yeah.
Popping up on people's stuff, and I mean
that was big for guys like that too. Like.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like Tupac gave so many people a shot. Like, hey, you rap? Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get this. Let's get this going.
I Ain't Mad at You is also near the top as one of my all-time Tupac faves.
I did a remake to that.
Did you?
Yeah. I took the project down. Me and D-Lo the Doctor, we had a project called Mo Love. It was an EP, probably like 5-6 songs, and I did we kind of redid the beat, but I kind of switched it. Because I had a homie I fell out with, and I'm basically like, I'm kind of talking shit, but I'm kind of like, yo, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I ain't mad at you at the same time.
I love it. I love it.
Like,
I would love to just like carry around a small file on my phone of just that opening. Dun, 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 dun. And for any time I feel like it's an appropriate place to say I ain't mad at you, I just like to play those 10 seconds, but not everybody would get it,
Yeah.
But oh god, I love that too.
Yeah, the ending too is crazy.
Yeah,
singing going off at the end, that is shit. They really knew how to touch people with those records.
Well, whoever's doing all of the elevated staccato, whatever you call that, vocal gospel-y. I don't know who it is, but they know what they're doing, and they've got the pipes to do it. It's very, very touching. I
forgot the name of that guy, Johnny something, or if that was the producer.
The way Can't See Me opens with the G-funky kind of feeling was just so dope. Same with Shorty Want to Be a Thug, which
Oh, yeah.
also for me kind of brings back in that kind of like scary element. Like,
I love that. Yeah.
Don't fuck with this guy. You know, it will not end well.
That saxophone on there is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's been sampled a couple of times in hip hop too.
Yeah.
Kanye West used that same sample with Drive Slow. Yeah, saxophone crazy on there.
I love Holla at Me and Wonder Why They Call You Bitch as a two songs in a row. But when it comes to cold, hard, real life, I mean, it doesn't get any better than Picture Me Rolling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even that boom opening bass stroke or whatever. I mean,
that's another one too, yeah.
I mean, like, that's talk about Picture. You know, he calls out the something correctional facility because he had just gotten out, or maybe he wrote this while but you know, all you punk police. I mean, I was like, fuck, this is
that's bold.
I don't luckily have interactions with police often, and this is 1996 me thinking, and like, how weird would it be if cops were always a part of my life and I knew that some of them were punks.
Yeah.
You know, that like not serve and protect.
Right.
They're
crooked cops.
They're out to whatever, you know.
And they have and still have hip hop police and shit like that too. So they dealt with that. And I'm sure Tupac, being the most popular artist, one of the most popular artists, he dealt with like the politics of being who he is. Like, people were probably always fucking with him, like, you know, some kind of way. Like, he just felt that, like, yo, I got to talk about this. Like, this is.
It's so weird that
his family too has been messed with by the police. So like, he got all of that to deal with.
It's so weird that he called this Picture Me Rolling. Like, you don't have to say those words because I can. Yeah. I can picture my 500 Benz. Like, I can fucking see, you know, and if he's rolling, like, looking for some, like, that person better have their shit together because it's not going to end well for them. I mean, he just so hard. To me,
I like that song, but I got a different like reason out of like Picture Me Rolling. To me was like, yo, you try to spit on me, now look at me, like, you know what I'm saying?
I shrugged it off, like that.
Like, like you try to spit on me, you try to kick me while I'm down, now look how I'm living. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how Picture Me Rolling always has resonated with me.
Interesting.
Because I always like, even as a kid, like hearing this song, I always seen that song and I was like, look, I'm driving and I'm looking in my rear view at everything that's behind me. Picture me rolling, like deuces, like, you know.
I went through the storm and came out the other side, and I'm maybe better off for it, as opposed to I'm on a mission of vengeance.
Yeah, I think he wrote it like that, but to me, like I said, I took it as like, look, whew, like, you know, dodging all the shit, and like, look at me now, like,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Look what I'm doing now. Like, look, you try to kick me while I'm down. You was dishonest. You was, you know, trying to get me caught up in whatever. You said all these things about me. Like, look at me, Picture Me Rolling. Like,
right?
Look at it.
That's great, man.
Take
That's
a picture.
Glass half full.
For real.
Rather Be Nigga.
Classic.
That
song make anybody feel good.
That song so much, so we can get drunk and smoke weed all day.
Yeah.
Don't matter if you love. I love that song.
Yeah. I played that for so many girls growing up. Like, you know,
it's smooth. The message is direct, but it's also really smooth.
Like, let me find this lady that's singing this beautiful hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was a girl singing it. Like, oh, this is classic.
I also feel like there's a lot of little nuances about Tupac that maybe people today don't know or take for granted.
Yeah.
You Feel Me is a line that's used if you spend any time on TikTok or whatever. I mean, dudes podcasting, you know, so many of the words coming out don't really contribute to the conversation because you get a lot of Feel me? Bruh, you know, and it's like not, it's just kind of noises, not really contributing direct. But I mean, when he said, he was like, this has been my experience. Does that make sense to you? Do you feel me? It was real. So I feel like, to me, he deserves credit for putting that phrase in the lexicon. And I think people, it's just a thing to say.
Dope. I'm going to have to do some more research on that.
It's like LOL. Like, did you really laugh out loud? It's just a thing people send to each other.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
I do that all the time.
Make your words typed or verb. Make them valuable. Make them mean something. Mm-hmm. Anyway, of course.
I like that, though. I didn't really look at that, and I might have to look at that now.
It's just a theory from, you know.
Nah, I like that, though. You might be onto something with that one.
Of course, the title track, All Eyez on Me, has got one of the best beats of all time. Yeah. Man, I just, I really thought that, and no reason to think otherwise, but I just pictured his trajectory, to not be one of, you know, successful in the artist venue, and not branch off like, you know, Master P is like a really good example of somebody that, you know, he's like an octopus, or everything he touches is like successful business. Jay-Z, there's a lot of people, Kanye, I guess, there's a lot of people like that, but I feel like he was gonna do all those things. He
definitely was,
but none of that was gonna matter in terms of, to me, the public figure he would one day become, in terms of, you know, kind of unifying the human race, at least in this country. Not that he was going to fix everything, but I really thought that he was going to be a person that, you know, Black America, White America, whoever could look at, and I'm looking at that human, and I'm having the same experience that you're having, looking at or listening to. I just really thought, you know, and then boom, gone. Like,
you're exactly right. I mean, we would never know, you know, what greatness but he was definitely on the way to greatness and wanting to do great things. And
God, he could not stay out of trouble though.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Every time
his family comes from that though, like, you know.
Well, they were both Black Panthers. Yeah.
So, you know, and honestly, even going into that, like, I mean, we could probably say good things and bad things about them, but overall, like, what the Panthers were, their original mission, what they were trying to do, and of course there's different chapters of Panthers and people doing different things a different way, but even their original mission was positive.
I think,
you know,
I think that it's largely been ignored, swept under the rug, forgotten, overlooked, whatever.
Yeah, but it's a whole different generation of people now, but yeah.
But yeah, originally, I mean, it was like,
targeted as kind of like terrorists, like, but not.
Yes.
They weren't. You know, that wasn't their mission.
No, I think it was treat us like humans and treat us like you would treat this guy and this guy, right? If you boil it down to its and the
also, government was scared of that many people with actual protection and knowledge and voices. Yeah, so. You know, Tupac, just to get back, Tupac was taken definitely too soon.
Yeah, and again, you know, no disrespect to, you know, guy or girl, random guy, random girl who either has a family member pass or somebody they admire, a public figure they admire. Everybody throws that phrase out.
Yeah.
Taken from us too soon, gone too soon.
That's
and it's
true.
Just like, not everybody is gone too soon. Like, some people, it's just their time.
Yeah.
Some people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Some people get sick.
As I'm getting older, I'm kind of like leaning more towards that. Yeah.
But there are very certain situations where you're like, this person was an anomaly and a gift to the human experience, and they were just starting to share, and then they died. That's gone too soon. And this dude,
for real, I mean, Tupac, in a weird way, lives forever. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, hologram concerts and triple the posthumous releases. That
still releasing music, collabing with people.
Like, dude, did this guy ever sleep? Come on, what's going on here? I want to move to your next guy, but I'm gonna restroom break real quick.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna move from somebody that I have experience talking about to somebody that I don't.
Okay.
Because I have never before this sat down and actively listened to Jay-Z.
Okay. Wow.
So we'll start with the Dynasty 2000 and special record for you because it was your first purchase.
Correct. Yep.
Have you seen the TikTok of him on the train going to a show with the old lady?
I missed that.
I think it's the train. I think it's in New York. But he's just on public transportation as fucking Jay-Z. And there's an old lady sitting at seats along and then at the back you got the sort of some horizontal or seats going this way, and there's this real old lady sitting, and he's just sitting next to her, and they're just talking, and you can tell right away that she really likes who this person is. Like, really good interaction, good vibe. So it's general talk, like, oh, it's cold out, and oh, it's Saturday or whatever. And then it kind of gets more specific and more specific. Finally, she's like, so what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm an entertainer, and I'm on my way to do a show right now. And she's like, really? Like, you're taking the public transportation to, and so she's like, well, who are you? He's like, my name's Jay-Z. And she's like, well, I know who you are. It's like the sweetest little thing. I just love it. 140 million records sold. 24 Grammys. I didn't know that he bought Tidal. I didn't know that was his. This is number 5 of 13 for him, record-wise. I don't really feel like he's ever been somebody with a lot of scandal and trouble associated.
He got into a little bit of trouble, but yeah.
But compared to some of his peers,
he probably bought his way out. No.
Well, point being, huge businessman, entrepreneur, smart. Just kind of like has that vibe of somebody that kind of knows how to navigate the path.
He's a mogul.
He really is. And so this is your first purchase.
Correct.
Talk to me about this record.
My mom, like I said, was and is a Jay-Z fan. She likes Jay-Z out. That's one of her artists, like rap artists, she actually likes. So, I would already hear him in the car and then stuff on the radio. And I can't really remember the rollout for that album, but that album is like him and his record label. It's Dynasty, Rockefeller Records presents the Dynasty, I believe. But it was technically a Jay-Z album.
Right.
But I just liked how it kicks on. I don't know. And it too, like I said, being my first album, it's probably not my favorite Jay-Z, but it being my first album that I purchased, it definitely
special place.
It definitely hit me different. And it being the radio version and then me later on hearing the dirty version, like that even just made it more exciting because now I'm filling in the blanks. I thought I knew what the words were with the real words, and it just like, I don't know, the production on there was crazy. Like Dr. Dre made a beat or two on there. It's just I liked the guys that he rapped with, Memphis Blink.
I didn't know Snoop featured.
Featured that might have been like one of the first songs they did together, like after the East Coast West Coast drama and shit like that.
The smoke had cleared.
Snoop came so smooth, and it was like a player record. Like I was like, this shit is hard. Like there's a couple of tracks on there that just.
So like if I randomly hear Jay-Z, I can recognize his voice, but like I said, I never sat down. But I, for the longest time, thought that everything he did, not that it all sounds, but I think I kind of hoped that I knew the day would come, right, when I would sit down, but I kind of thought that everything was going to sound like New York.
Yeah.
which I fucking love that song. So I mean, it's just so uplifting.
New York,
and who is
Alicia Keys?
Alicia Keys.
It's not one of my favorite ones, actually.
No, you don't. Is it because you've heard it too much, or you just don't like it?
Probably because I heard it too much, but it's like real poppy. You know, like even from the piano line, like just down, 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 down,
yeah,
down, down, down. Like it was produced great, and it's actually a remake of something very old. Like there's a song that kind of sounds like that, the same chord. They like remade that beat, chord progression, and the singing as well.
Okay.
So. I mean, I learned that after. I didn't know that when that song came out.
Sure.
But yeah, probably because I have heard it so much. I tend to not like those kinds of songs.
I don't know. I love it. I think it's really wonderful. But point being, I was wrong.
I'm gonna throw in a buzzard like "Return of the Mac." I've heard that song so much that I've even sampled that song. I've heard that song so much that I do not want to hear it anymore. It's a great song. It's amazing.
There's that hook immediately. If you're not at least nodding your head,
well, I've heard it so many times. I don't want to and I DJ, too. So
sure.
I do not want to hear New York. I don't want to hear Return of the Mac. I got a couple songs like that.
Sure.
Like, I was just like,
yeah. There's great beats on "I Just Want to Love You." Get Your Mind Right, Stick to the Script, and You, Me, Him, and Her. Really great run.
Storytell,
3 tracks.
Too, yeah.
I recognize 1-900 Hustler somehow. I don't know where I would know it from, but it's definitely familiar.
That was a hard track.
And the ROC is real slick. I feel like every time I'm turning around, Pharrell Williams, he's all over the place.
Yeah, he is.
I literally thought he was happy. That's the same dude, right?
Yeah.
I thought that. I was like, oh, he's just a one-hit wonder. Nope. He is everywhere, dude.
Yeah, he's a monster. That's one of my favorite producers as well.
Kanye with some producer credits. Yep. Like I knew they kind of came. I didn't know they were
Kanye
tight like
had
that.
To be like, I mean, he probably was messing with them, but that's probably like his, because he did, I think, maybe something on the Blueprint or right around that, but that Dynasty was like probably next. So that was some of his first kind of like getting in there as a producer.
Okay.
You know,
what's going on with him right now? I mean,
I ain't keeping up.
Okay, but I mean, he keeps getting this anti-Semitic thing.
Yeah,
and then there's obviously clips of him saying and
crazy stuff.
But I mean, and I feel like maybe I haven't kept up either, but I feel like sort of parallel to Kyrie Irving. Like he said something, and then it was kind of like, you know, he was given a chance to fix it, and he just leaned harder or didn't make an effort.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like that step one solution half. Do you care about us? And so I feel like Kanye is sort of in that same, like he keeps being given the opportunity to be like, you guys, I was just fucking around, and he's not. It seems like he's not taking.
That's hella true.
That bait, or he's not interested in going that direction, and he doesn't have to do. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, but boy, people are really enjoying shitting on him right now.
Yeah, I would love to touch on that real quick. I don't know Kanye West at all.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying. I do know some famous people, you know.
Okay.
And with both of those statements said, and even with sports, some of this shit is entertainment. Now, you can definitely go too far with that too. I don't know what's, you know, just like I'm a regular consumer of music just like you are, you know, and I see the same things sometimes that you see. And I think sometimes they put certain things in our face, or we only get a little bit of it.
Or it's sculpted to this is how they want us to see it.
Exactly. I have to take that away. And my wife, she'd be mad at me because we would watch a movie or a TV show. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is scripted. You know, I'm kind of learning and starting to be able to tell on some of those, like, and I ruin it because I'm like, babe, this is scripted. Because I know like some of this shit is not real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I have to I have to look at everything like that. I never get caught up in it all the way. I'm like, okay, these people are entertainers.
Yeah.
There's a bigger
You know who
picture.
Barstool Sports?
Mm-hmm.
You know who Dave Portnoy is?
No, but I heard of that.
Okay.
Is he one of the main people on there?
I think he's numero uno.
Okay.
Now, I don't know him
Mm-hmm.
at all. I don't know much about him at all. There have been some things published and documented that make it look like he's not done some kosher things.
Yeah.
There's also plenty of content out there to suggest that he's kind of a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know if it's been sculpted so that I see it that way. I don't know if that's anyway.
Yeah. We feed off of either way it go. We feed off of that.
So he is this, he really captured the blogger, the sports blog lightning in a bottle and put it in he did all the right stuff to grow. And now they're huge. Yeah. They've got a Barstool for, any college that's big enough to have a sport. There's a Barstool KU and a Barstool St. Louis Blues and Cleveland Brown. And they, have, I think, some big corporate sponsorship relationship kinds of things. Yeah. But the content that he mostly, in my mind, is known for is that he does these pizza shop things where he'll go to like the famous pizzeria that everybody knows about in Trenton, New Jersey, and he'll order and he it's one bite. He takes a bite and then he gives it a rating, and that's the end of his thing, right? So some of the stuff that he maybe made poor choices on have involved females, and he was doing one of these things, and there happened to be a residence right next to the pizza place, and a female like saw what was that it was him. That's him. He's here doing his thing. So she went off.
Oh shit!
And of course, he's got a bunch of people around, and all of those people are like, "Shut her the fuck up, turn it off." And he's like, "No, keep it on, keep it rolling, keep it on her." And right before the clip ends, he says something to the effect of, "No such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah,
it's all gonna move the needle or spike the." And it's like, maybe is that same thing happening with Kanye, Kyrie? I don't know, man.
I think that. I don't know the outcome of it, and of course I wouldn't know, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think there is a outcome of the situation, even with them losing their deals and all of that. It's a bigger picture, or if not, it's definitely, look, me and you are here talking about it. We come from totally different backgrounds.
Right. Yeah.
It's forcing people to have the conversation of what's right, what's fair, what's and not just me and you, in people's households, at work, at the barbershops, at schools. It's conversation. People like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
Or the people that think it is right. It's like, hey, I'm the CEO that we're getting rid of those guys. So it's like it's recycling the whole, we're since the pandemic, we've been in that stage of getting some of those people up out of here anyways. Like,
you're canceled or you're rebranding.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like, hey, you're not gonna keep selling us this high ass shit and you're a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, we're finding out about you.
Yeah, we're gonna come back and the thing's gonna be gluten free and we're gonna donate to charity, and trust us.
So I say, no, I can't. Personally, I don't personally know Kanye, so I can't say he's a piece of shit.
No.
Or anybody, or any of those CEOs. I mean,
right.
If the proof is out there that this person did this, and anyone can say anything.
Yeah.
Talk is one thing, your actions are different. So Kanye can say all the fucking crazy shit he wants to, in my opinion.
Right.
It doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect me. I still gotta pay bills.
Yeah.
Kanye's bills are paid. Yeah. Mine aren't.
Yeah. So Dynasty was 2000.
Yeah.
Black Album 2003.
Yeah.
Dynasty first purchase. Black Album makes your list because
high school.
Okay.
I'm in high school now.
We already gave Tupac credit for getting you through high school.
Yeah.
What's Jay-Z's?
Jay-Z is like, I'm rapping now for real, and he's the best rapper out. Like, Tupac is dead. So
okay,
like, Jay-Z's my new favorite.
Time out.
Go ahead.
So is it safe to say that Tupac got you through high school in kind of a global / life sense, but Jay-Z was more somebody you looked up to as somebody that wanted to rap?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, he's
okay.
the icon now. Like, he's the biggest rapper.
All right.
His rollout for the Black Album, and it was supposed to be like his last album too.
Retirement.
Yeah,
retirement number one.
Number one.
So Black Album, and then
it was an incredible piece.
Dynasty. No, I'm sorry. Blueprint 1, Blueprint 2, and then Black Album, right?
Yeah. I think he might have something else.
Okay. He wanted a This is like, talk about learning that you can bring people into feature and different producer for each track.
Yeah.
Like, that was not
different.
a thing. People were like, I want this dude because I know these 26 records that he's produced and I like the sound. So I want that sound to be my sound for this album.
Yeah.
Different producer for every track.
That's crazy.
Nuts. Which just sounds like it's just spiking the cost of making the record.
Oh yeah.
But oh well. I mean, he's a billionaire, so
yeah.
I saw DJ Quick and I was like, fuck yeah. and then also Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't tend to be involved with shitty projects, right?
Yeah.
Most of the things you see his name attached to.
Amazing stuff. Beastie Boys, Run DMC. I mean, like,
Gladiator clip to kick off What More Can I Say? Like, that definitely wasn't free. You know,
they did.
Are you not entertained? Which is, and if you've seen the movie, an epic line. Little R&B, jazz field, open encore. Eminem. Didn't know he got a producer credit. I didn't know he produced shit.
Yeah, he did. A lot of stuff.
I saw another TikTok. I love anybody that tells me I love Dr. Dre, right? Mm-hmm. But anybody that wants to tell me that the original Chronic is better than 2001, I'll fight you over it. I love that record.
Let's go outside.
But he shit, I lost my train of thought.
Eminem,
but yeah,
Dre.
Eminem got a producer credit. I don't know, I lost it. Moment of Clarity,
man,
it almost has an Eminem kind of cadence to it.
Yeah, it does.
But man, I wish I could. Anyway, I saw. Oh, I know what it was. I saw a TikTok with a dude whose name escapes me now. He's a white dude, and the interview is talking about the production of Chronic 2001, and he is in the room at a keyboard, and Dre has gotten up to go get food is being delivered, or he stepped out to get food. And he's like, fuck around with, keep fucking around. And as he walked out of the room, the dude goes, ding, 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 ding. That guy. Ding, ding, ding. And Dre comes back in. He's like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then the TikTok ends with them saying, by the end of the day, it was finished and sent to Jay-Z to write. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What did you just say? No way. And then, sure as shit, he gets he wrote that song.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to feel about that.
I didn't know those, growing up, of course, I didn't know anything about that. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, why the fuck would Dr. Dre need Jay-Z to write a song for him? Dr. Dre, fucking write it yourself. You got Eminem in the room, you know?
Amazingly kilted, for Dr. Dre, to rap.
Killed it.
That's crazy.
That was the other one.
That takes a lot of skill to write something for someone else and it be that good.
Well, it also takes. I mean, you have to be able to compartmentalize your pride.
Yeah.
As Dr. Dre or whoever, very well known. to say, no, I'm gonna have this superstar write this song for me. Anyway, it's very surprising and cool.
Amazing.
99 Problems. I saw another clip where it's somebody's interviewing Ice-T being like, yeah, I wrote that shit, and he kind of stole it from me. I think it's fixed now, and Ice-T gets some credit, but I was like, what? That's like maybe the most well-known Jay-Z song in the catalog.
That was a big song.
And you didn't do you didn't follow the correct protocol to, get rights or whatever, however. And
things were a lot different like back then too. Like people weren't as like now everyone wants their credits and things, and I think borrowing a bar or two, or back then it was kind of like, oh, thank you, that shout out, you know what I'm saying, like more or less that, like I see you, boy, like, hey, you dope,
But if you look at the personnel list and the producer list and the sample list, I mean, it is huge. Like spare no expense.
They definitely went over the budget on that. I mean, what was the budget?
I don't know, but I mean,
there's a DVD. I have to think of the name, but and I got it too. There's a behind the scenes of them like making that whole album.
Okay.
Yeah, the black out DVD or the Black Album DVD. Yeah, it's on YouTube too.
You've watched it?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like there's several clips like of Jay-Z going to the different, like he goes to the studio with Timberland, and that's when he plays the beat, and he's in the studio working with Kanye, and Kanye's like on beat, like, I don't know, 5 to 10, and he's like, I'm gonna get one with Jay-Z, and he finally gets one, and they made the Lucifer song.
Okay.
Like, he's like with all the producers, Ninth Wonder, and then he so for that album, I don't know if he opened or closed. I think he opened up with the what's the big theater in New York? The Garden. He sold out the Garden, the first rapper to ever sell out the Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
Like that's big right there. Yeah. Sold out.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to a Jay-Z concert. I haven't been, but they're expensive and they're always sold out.
You're going to have to take your mom.
Facts.
I mean.
Facts.
And she's going to have to know that it's not going to be the edited version when you guys get
cool
there.
Now.
Right.
We all there now.
Nice. I really liked Change Clothes.
Yeah.
Dirt Off Your Shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Felt familiar. I must have just heard it in passing.
Yeah.
Threat. I had not heard him be that hard.
He is.
I was like, okay, Jay-Z.
Yeah, that album was tough, man. You can't deny that one. That's the one the guy said he's seen on the list, right?
No, the first one.
He liked the Dynasty.
No, he wanted to know why Dynasty was on your list.
That's what I'm saying. He understood the Black Album.
Yes.
No, yeah. Okay.
Then he's like, of course.
Dynasty is just was my first CD ever. So
I'm gonna tell him too. I'm gonna tell him that's why. Yeah.
So I can pick other ones like the 444 joint. Crazy.
This. Now I got 2 Jay-Z record listens. For me, and this is where I show my old guy. But like. I don't think that I've heard too many people rap the way that people were rapping when I was in 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. Easy, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Too Short, Ice-T, Tupac, Eminem. Like, to me, those that's the Rushmore of 8, however many that is. How does Jay-Z stack up to those guys from that?
To me, alive right now, Jay-Z's the best rapper alive.
Okay, better than Kendrick?
Way better.
Better than Kanye?
Better than Kanye.
Okay.
They're not even in my top 5.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I absolutely loved that the record closes with him. I'm going somewhere nice where there ain't no mosquitoes at all. And then it just fade.
That's hard. How do you
end scene?
How do you think of that?
I love it. I love it.
And then like Jay-Z doesn't write. Like he writes in his head, I think. Like
okay.
But he doesn't write on paper. Like,
right.
And that's kind of like him and Lil Wayne. Like, a lot of people see that. That's kind of like where I try to embody that. Like I ain't mastered it all the way. I've gotten good. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen other dope people. Like I've came across dope people that write in their head too. But like just that alone, even like on the newest song he did for DJ Khaled, like that guy did, the engineer, Young Guru, who's did all of Jay-Z's engineering, has a photo of not Jay-Z in the studio, but the studio recording session in Pro Tools, and you can see Jay-Z's verse. Like it's a long verse. He raps for a long time, and you can see the whole take. Like he didn't punch in, nothing like that.
All one take.
Like
damn.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like that
skills
level of skill. Like I don't know if all these other guys is doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And if they are they going to admit it?
Yeah. I would hope so.
Don't put that tape out there. I don't want people to see it.
Yeah.
So go from somebody I know to somebody I didn't know to somebody I've never heard of.
Okay.
With Juelz
Santana.
2003, From Me to You.
Yeah.
Tell me about this dude.
So Juelz Santana is another New York rapper from Harlem.
Yeah.
Part of Dipset. You probably heard of Dipset.
When I saw it sounded familiar.
You heard, "Hey Ma, and we gonna get it on the night."
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. So
okay.
Cameron is Dipset. A lot of people know Cameron. Juelz is like Cameron's little brother.
Dude that I was talking to. First thing he said was, "Man, all that Dipset shit was fire."
Yeah,
and I was like,
"Yeah,
okay, I'll take your word for it."
Yeah, so that movement, and it's just someone that I like how he carried himself in the game. And he got in the game like really young too, like probably 16, 17, 18, and was blowing up as an artist. You know, that's really young. Like we see young stars now, and we've always seen young stars, but like as a rapper, that's really young. And to make an impact of what they do. The Dipset, a lot of people know Dipset and Juelz Santana from mixtape days.
Which is on my list of thing. Because, so if we could back up for half second, is Lil Wayne in your top 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I had a dude on that had an impressive list of 5 records. The Carter 2 was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny when we were texting, he had a typo and was like freaking out. He's like, "Oh, shit, man. Oh, no, the Carter 2." And I was like, "Okay, all right, man." Like, but he remembered when we were sitting down. He was like, "Man, it's a good thing I caught that." I'm like, this is like something you're concerned with. Anyway, he probably said the word mixtape 6-7 times during our talk. And when I saw it come up here for this dude, I was like, "What?" Because I didn't get it when I was talking to the. Because to me, I mean, I made more mixtapes than I could count, and the word made sense because it's on a cassette. I mixed this. This is the order. I chose the songs. But what mixtapes in this sense means is it's not an official album release, but it's something that's available digitally.
Yeah.
That you pay for, or you can get
mostly free.
Okay.
Some artists did get paid for them, or they would sell them, like print them up themselves or have them at little shops and stuff. But it was like the new wave to get music. We wouldn't really be an industry that we're in right now without the mixtapes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And this was what was really cool. So it'd be your favorite artist, and they would take their favorite artist's songs or beats and do their thing on them.
Okay. Back to the karaoke machine.
Yeah.
Right? Playing instrumental CDs, recording it on a tape, and rapping into them.
Now you're hearing Eminem on a Jay-Z beat, or Eminem on, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like you're hearing Kendrick Lamar on whatever's out right now, like, and he's gassing that mug. Like, I felt like artists were more free to be them and do what they love and do what they want. And then, like all music that gets released as an artist gets approved from the label.
Okay.
Right? So this was like stuff the label probably didn't approve, but it was just them having fun, being creative, like being dope, like rapping on other people's beats.
Sure.
So Juelz Santana was one of those guys that was making mixtapes, a lot of them. He has a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then collabing with other people. And it was like just so raw. And sometimes they weren't even be the best quality of music. For real.
Well, strangely, okay. Immediately, I'm like, this feels like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I mean, not exactly, but it's the influence.
He was signed to up under
Rockefeller in 2001, 2 years before. Monster Music,
man,
really cool track. Talk about not being able to stay out of trouble. Fled Newark Liberty Airport after trying to take a loaded gun and 8 oxys in his carry-on through security.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Yes.
It was 4 years ago.
So,
dude,
he just put out an interview on DJ Vlad's platform talking about all this stuff and why he hasn't been making music in the recent years and going through different things.
Sure.
Just having a sour taste about the music industry. The music industry has changed a lot in the last every 2 years. It seems like now.
two studio records for this dude.
Yeah.
But then lots of collab, lots of feature, lots of mixtape.
Yeah.
So he's been busy.
Yeah.
But so to me, the mixtape, the best thing about that is, it's new music or different music that somebody might enjoy listening to, but it's also really getting your name out there and building a brand, sort of, right? I mean, so if you hear some of this mixed and then the next album that they put out, maybe you're more inclined to buy it.
Yeah.
Because you heard, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's promotion for the artist.
Yeah.
Keeping things popping while the album is doing its thing, or while your album was sitting for 3 years. Hey, look, I'm still down here kicking these off for you.
Yeah.
It's growing,
Why? Really good song.
Yeah.
Weird to me that he has it seems like he's chosen to go by Santana.
Yeah.
It's like there's already a dude that goes by that.
Carlos
like
Santana.
why would you?
Juelz Santana.
I was really fucked up by Raindrops. I'm a sucker for keys and smooth R&B vocals. I was like, that's my stuff right there.
I like real instruments, guitar, keyboard, and like saxophone.
Sure.
Like,
what as much as I loved Raindrops, what I didn't like was Let's Go, because it's sort of taking Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On.
Yeah.
And there's so many pieces of that song you could have a nice little hook, but he just like leans all the way on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, by the time the song was over, I feel like
you
it's
listened to
85% Let's Get It On and 15% what you added to it.
Yeah.
It was weird. What the game's been what the game's been missing was 2 years later, 03 and then 05. Both of these are on here for you because
and my friends would probably say, like, I don't know, I was a fan, like, you know what I'm saying? My friends would definitely was listening to Lil Wayne more than I feel like them two were like the hot artists out, like some of the big ones. I also feel like Juelz didn't get enough from the label, like, push that he deserved. Like, the guy's incredible artist, storyteller, the beats too. I think that's one of the things, like, now looking back at it too, that's one of the things his producer, Heatmakers, probably on the tag is like Heatmakers, crack music, like on some of those songs, but like his producer for that time period, the chopping of the samples, like what that did for the hip hop community, I feel like was special.
Okay.
Yeah. It all the time it wasn't about the vocals and bars, even though he, like I said, he's dope to me, but the production and the way the producer carried the production and flipping some of those older songs, like the hip hop community was like, "Oh, this is you can't touch this." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
MC Hammer would agree.
Yeah, like this is just epic, So that was a key in it too, the production, like always.
So The Chronic and Doggy Style
are
not available streaming
right
anymore because Snoop bought Death Row.
Correct.
And they decided they're going to make those two records NFTs, right?
I think they're doing that. And I just watched a Snoop interview the other day, and like, this is the third time. Here we go. Streaming is shitty, right? Snoop said this out of his own mouth, and this is just a game for artists. Snoop is trying to either get them to pay what he feels like that music is worth, and then it'll be available on this, and that. But just getting pennies for those plays, it's not really worth it. So what Snoop said out of his mouth, I'm just paraphrasing, said he's going to build an app, and you have to become a member subscription.
Sure, I would 100%. And how many people are going to be like, take my money?
And then you can get all of the Death Row stuff is going to be available through the app.
Well, I ask because Shada's Murder, and Daddy are all grayed out.
Yeah.
On my streaming, and do you know why? I didn't
samples.
Look at. Like they didn't do it. He didn't do it the right way, sample wise, and the original artist was like, "No."
I got the CD.
Okay.
And they were on the CD.
Okay.
But when they became available, same thing. Like we don't listen to CDs anymore.
Right.
But when it came out on Apple Music, I noticed the same thing. Like, damn, what happened to those 3 songs? I actually bought the deluxe version of the Juelz Santana thing, and it came with like a little DVD. I was big on that.
Sure,
came with a little DVD.
Yeah. Like, it's like Scooby Snacks that nobody else. If you're not buying it that way, you don't get them. So it's like a little bit more content for you.
So Shata's had a music video. It was online as well, and it's not no more.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it's because of the sample. The sample, either they had a contract for it for that time period, and it is no longer good, and they need to renegotiate it, or I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. They definitely took them off though. But I know those songs, and I got those songs. Shatas is like super dope to me.
I saw an Instagram clip the other day. Snoop's on somebody's podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't know who any. There's like 4 or 5 other dudes on the couch and in the chairs. I don't know who any of them are.
Oh yeah.
But
$1 million worth of game or one of those.
I don't know. I don't know. But the clip.
He's been on a lot.
The clip was him saying that when he first started rapping, he would write on a typewriter.
Yeah, I seen that. I watched that.
I watched that clip like 15 times because it's so. Because he's on his way to say it helped me stay organized.
Yeah,
he eventually gets to say that, but that he's just dropping the typewriter piece as a way to get from A to B.
Yeah,
and somebody's like, "What did you just say? You used to write on?"
They were making
and the other dude goes,
that was the 85 South show.
Okay,
yeah,
and so they're all dishing him so much shit, and he's like, "Motherfucker, I used to type 65 words a minute," and the one dude goes, "Hey, do it again." And he goes,
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I could not stop watching it.
What's dude's name, man? DC Young Fly. That's the one that was making the noise.
Oh, dude,
they're all comedians, so that's
gold.
Funny.
That was awesome.
I was riding around and I just happened to click on it. I watched the whole episode, and that's what I think. That's the same piece I got that from. Where he said, yeah, he wants to build an app, and honestly, like that's the way to do it. I came up, so I got to share this story. You gonna like this one too, man. I came up selling CDs. Like at 15 years old, I was pressing my own CDs in the basement, doing my own artwork, like hand to hand.
How did you learn how to press?
I bought a little software. I told you I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I bought a little software with a sticker, and I still got these CDs too. And you put this piece of paper in your printer. They came with a program. I bought all this myself too. I was working at 14 years old.
Sure.
I used my dad's printer or my mom's printer. I think it was my dad's. My mom didn't mess with the music stuff. But it had the cover. It had a certain size, and you can design the artwork. And then it had another for the label.
I love it.
And I saved up, bought that one time. Then I went and bought 100 CDs, saved up, and bought 100 cases. And
you're bootlegging.
My stuff. No. This is my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my stuff. Like,
nice.
At 14 years old, yeah. And like, you had to put the CD on this thing and like press it down so the sticker would stay on it. It was a CD with a sticker on top of it.
Wow.
And if you weren't careful, it might get stuck in your CD player. So you was listening to nothing but me. But at 14, 15 years old, I would go to the mall,
hustling,
like get dropped off, like just drop me off. I'm selling for $5-10. I remember like making it. I can't remember exactly what age. I want to say 14, 15, but I remember like making $500 off selling my own music.
You know,
hand to hand.
So like the good stories, the fun stories to me about rock bands that come up kind of like mom's basement or the garage or whatever, and then eventually they make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stories that I like the most are the ones that keep all the money, and as soon as they can't, sort of like you were talking about with your gear, or that the printing the seat, but so they don't spend it, and then as soon as they have a goal, the new piece of gear,
exactly,
and
what
then
I bought.
and then the pot starts over. It's like anteing in a poker, you know.
I remember exactly what I bought. I bought my first. So I was recording off some crazy programs and doing research and talking to people. Everyone was like, you need Pro Tools. Pro Tools was the #1 recording software back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I took that $500 and bought my first inbox. And they were $500. It was probably $600 back then. Inbox. It used to be. It was Pro Tools' first home studio interface.
Oh.
Yep. And it was like
software.
It was an interface with the software.
Okay.
So you got both of them. And it was $500-600 at Guitar Center. The very, very first out of my
bringing
pocket.
It full circle to Guitar Center.
Back to Guitar Center. Yep. And I remember the guy that sold it to me. I ended up being friends with him. But that was my very first piece of gear like that I bought.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. I love it.
Right back into it.
Man, that's
all
awesome.
the money that I made.
Because you could have like gone and had a kegger, bought some weed, whatever. You could have spent it on video games, or fast food and gas, a million things. But
I saved it.
Back in,
I saved it. I promise. That's exactly how I got it. I got pictures of that stuff too.
Nice.
Like, all that's documented.
So this dude supposedly recorded 160 songs for this record.
Yeah.
What? I mean, obviously, how many did it turn out being?
A lot on there. 20-something.
I was going to say high teens, low 20s. Yeah, a lot. Not 160.
Yeah. 17 to 22 songs on that album. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a huge...
He got a lot of music.
I guess so. I mean, I'd be curious to know his writing.
I think he lost some of that music. Like I said, I was watching the interview. He lost some of that, but like it don't look like his spirit is killed. Like either like he just released something the other day, a track, just same him. Like I don't know.
Okay,
you know, the industry is different, but like, he's a dope artist to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
You got any bucket list items?
Business, personal, all the above.
Just the first 1, 2 that pop to your mind.
I want to write a book.
Talk to me about that. That's my nerd zone is writing. I love music and I love doing this, but writing is.
I'll give you the top 3 real quick.
Okay.
Book. I'm starting a podcast as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got the LSE, everything. I got the gear. I just haven't started yet.
Okay.
I'm in the phase what we talked about of how much work.
I just got my LLC in October.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I paid a company. I gave them like $150, and they do all the steps for you, and then you get all the paperwork. Yeah, it's done. But hopefully, whether it's episode 50, somewhere in there, merch line.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
Just have it out there and then add a few more things. And, if some revenue comes of it, cool. I mean, it's not going to determine whether or not I keep doing it, but if it works, great. So book, podcast, do you know?
I got the name, everything,
and really,
logo, everything.
Really, if you strip it all, what it's really about.
Yeah.
Because create the space, buy the stuff, and then I hired a gal to build the site and design a logo.
Amazing.
And she goes, "Cool, it's ready. Send me what this is about. And I was like, oh, I gotta put what this is about into words.
Yeah.
I didn't, okay. And so like there have been many times in the last 2 years to get to right today where I find myself just and where I've landed, and I think permanently, is that this is an important part of being a human, and pandemic really.
Like that.
You over here and you over here and you over here.
Yeah.
We all have our opinions and we're mad and what, but we need to connect like this. And I think music and life are things that everybody can sit at the table together for. So that's what it's about for me. And so having a name and a logo and all that, but also what is it really about? You know, and then that's got to be the driving thing that
for sure
tickles your fancy. So book, podcast.
And then third location.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have? Don't say if you don't want to, but do you? Mm-hmm. Do you think you know where you want it to be?
I got 2 ideal locations.
Okay.
And then that whichever one's first, and then the fourth.
Oh, okay. All right.
We moving. I can say no. Detroit, Michigan, and Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
For now.
I believe that. Tonight from DJ Quick, off Quick is the name. No, I'm wrong. I'm thinking of Eazy-E. Mm-hmm. The title track to Easy Does It. There's 2 dudes in the background just kind of heckling, and one of them says, "The N-word come from Detroit, Michigan." Yeah, it's a hilarious line. So whenever I hear Detroit, Michigan,
Motor City.
I immediately think of those 2. They're like the old guy Muppets in the balcony that just anyway. Okay, wow.
You can jump on which way you want to go. I mean, I kind of gave you that. That's all I got.
Sure.
On those,
no, that's
You know.
What about tomorrow? You wake up and just whether you play or not.
Yeah.
And I don't. But you wake up tomorrow and you've won the lottery, and like, it's not just, oh, this is really cool. Like it's an insane amount, like one of these, 7, however, just huge. So like all of your people, there's more money than they can spend before everybody's gone. Does your day-to-day life look any different because of that?
I think I'm such a workaholic. I can't stop working. So,
it probably helps if your work is very closely related to your passion.
Yeah.
Right.
I literally think I'm gonna work till the day I die.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how old that is, but I'm going to be working. All the men in my family do as well.
Did you tell your cousin that?
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
Everybody that really knows me. My wife doesn't like it, but everyone that really knows me like that, they know that's me. Like, I got restless soul, like right here.
I saw
Like
that. I was like, interesting.
That's really me. Like, I don't know. I just and with that much money, I probably would just be doing beneficial things for the world. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, if tomorrow you woke up and all the media outlets were like, you have 25 seconds. It's going out on all the channels, live and at the same time. What's your message?
Man, be great. Be great to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Yeah.
You have a favorite meal?
Ooh.
Or favorite snack?
I'm a snacker. I love like desserts and pastries.
I was going to say, are you sweet or salty?
Sweet.
I'm salty, man. Give me chips. Give me crackers. Give me...
I like pretzels though.
Okay.
I do like pretzels a lot. I fuck a bag of pretzels up, especially with peanut butter. I like peanut butter a lot.
There you go.
Peanut butter and crackers is fine.
If another scenario, somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, Jay-Z wants to meet you," but before that happens, you have to summarize who you are in one sentence. What are you throwing? What are you putting together?
Dope artist and producer.
I love it. I love it. No hesitation there, man.
Hey, do you ever real quick? Do you ever hear like people say like I forget the amount of money is like $80,000 or dinner with Jay-Z? Like that's like a question on like Twitter. I don't remember the amount of money.
Right.
I'm probably taking a meeting with Jay-Z.
I mean,
I feel like the game
for 80,000. Yeah, dinner with 80 million.
Yeah, If anything,
I'll fly to Jay-Z's house with my 80 million.
Anything with a meal.
Yeah, an M.
Anything with a meal. I'll skip the meal with Jay-Z. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Complete this phrase for me.
All right.
I know I'll have lived a full, satisfactory life when
I can see my kids grow.
No hesitation on that either, man. I love it. I love it. Following mom's footsteps, really. Looking out for what's most important.
And I just got one now, so.
Right.
But,
right.
Life continues.
It does. It does. Well, we're right at the 3-hour mark, and it's dark now. And
damn. That's amazing.
I'm sure dogs have full bladders. I know mine's full again. But, again, like I'm not trying to like single out, people or categorize people. But I was really, really stoked when you said, sure, I'll do that. I mean, like I didn't have to give you a hard sell. You were just like, yeah. And then, you showed up, and I literally can't tell you how great. I mean, getting goosebumps. How grateful.
Thank you, man.
Because we can sit here and talk about
we could
thousands.
Probably go for another 2 hours.
We could talk about dollar amounts in the tens of thousands or in the millions. But really, man, like time is a pretty freaking valuable thing.
I preach that too.
And it's a thing that we all have to manage. Yeah. Like if you don't manage it, it'll manage you, right? And so.
Real quick.
For somebody to say, yes, I'll do it, and then when the day comes, you stick to it and show up.
I was a little late.
I was trying to be delicate and say, don't be early, because I won't be ready, man.
Okay.
And so.
You were ready, though, so.
But if you would have shown up at 1:45, I would have been like, this motherfucker. I had to get home from Olathe and let dogs out, and, I try to do a sanitizing kind of thing just in case anybody's weirded out about germs. But I thank you so much, MABkc.
Yeah.
If people want to see your socials, just Google
MABkc, MABkc, everything.
Twitter,
everything.
The gram.
All of them.
Are you on the talk?
Yep.
Okay.
Under Industry Soundz. So.
Industry Soundz with a Z.
With the Z.
The Z.
And you can find me there too.
Awesome. I'm really excited to hear. Did you say Des Moines has been going for 18 months?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah. 1 year 2 months.
Going strong.
Yeah. 1 year and 2 months about.
Okay. Well, man, I really hope to hear, a year from now that Des Moines is really strong and, the wheels are turning for number 3. Hopefully Blue Springs, the roots of it all kind of stays and holds the fort. And if you get back into, the music project, if you finish your thing with you got 3 projects going right now. I just nothing but love and hope for the best for you and
you as well.
I know we don't know each other well, but I think it's important to say, like, if some stuff's going on and you, for whatever reason, don't have somebody to reach out to, I'll be as available as I can be.
I appreciate that. That's genuine. Right
it gets lonely out there.
That's very true. Even for me,
cold, wild world.
Everybody. That's another everybody thing, especially this time of year.
Yep. Yeah. The very less sunlight. It's cold, and I think sometimes this is a financially tough for people. People are just trying to get through to the whatever, and then so, I mean. There's a lot of stuff on social media where
mind, man, it's powerful though.
Absolutely, but like people should be, if you genuinely are somebody that can be available on whatever level, like you should say that to people. Because I think it's way easier when you see, oh, so and so you remember so-and-so, they took their own life. And then people are like, you should reach out if you're having a heart. Like, that's easy for you to say after this person didn't make it, and you're just over here, sort of vomiting words that don't have any meaning, don't contribute anything. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're somebody that's willing to be available, you should say that. Yeah. When the time, you don't have to go say it everywhere. When the time is right, and the circumstances are right, say that shit, man.
I feel you on that. And my phone is always on and always open.
Right.
If it's off, it's dead, or I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, but other than that, you can get in communication with me. So likewise goes to you. Reach out to me.
Right on, man. Thank you.
And with that being said too, I would love to definitely, have you on one of as a guest on one of my episodes.
I've not been a guest on one before.
And I'll tell you more about my stuff.
But, sure.
When the time comes.
Yeah.
Like I haven't did one episode yet, so
it's great. I'll tell you what. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm nervous for everyone. A
little bit.
But it's not. I know that it's never going to fully go away, and it's a challenge, especially when we get within the hour of the guests arriving. And you know why? I think is because I don't want it to suck.
Nah, man.
I want them to show. I want it to be worth their time. I want it to be good. I want it to be productive and constructive and something that hopefully people want to listen to or watch or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it means you care about your stuff. So
I had a good time. I can say that, man. You were super cool. Like we said, we don't know each other as much. We encountered each other 9 years ago. A lot's changed.
Yeah,
we both probably look a little different.
I wasn't bicking back then.
Bicking back then.
I was a first-time dad. Okay. And now, I've got a long list of what's changed in 9 years.
Us as people, and it's amazing that we can reconnect and stuff, like that. And
unfortunately, I got to give shouts out to Batliner.
If
you see him, fucking tell him to get his ass in the chair. MABkc, thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate it.
Likewise.